It's your homie, man, Hood. I'm hollering at y'all about another Diddy Cassie situation. You know, it's crazy out there for the guy, but apparently he has a he's had a standing ovation while he was in jail. So says his lawyers, and that's really what the conversation is about. I don't know if that's funny or sad. To me, it's sad. But you know, I guess we'll talk about all of that right now. So when you get in here, definitely try to like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Why I think it's sad. I think it's sad because the government has just been doing the 1-2 step on black guys since the beginning of time. And then for it has to be a standing ovation for a black man to beat those people in such a dramatic way is really crazy. Because, I mean, think about it. They brought black people here against their will. Nobody talks about that today in 2025 because they're supposed to be anti-social, anti-this, anti-white establishment and all that stuff. But it's really the reality. You know, the black people was brought here against their will, regardless if you have friends that want to agree with you or if you get a girlfriend. It don't matter. It happened. It happened hundreds of years ago. And then since then, historically, white people have just been trying to stop black people in every arena. And now today you could even go into the gentrification level of their stoppage. But when you got a person like Diddy who has survived the streets, survived the, you know, no father growing up, no money, you know what I'm saying? His mother only being raised by a female and a single mom type activity from back in the 90s, and then to be able to parlay himself into a multi-billion-dollar business, a multi-billion-dollar operation, that stuff is something to be commended. That does not absolve what nobody do behind the scenes, because ain't nobody perfect, obviously. People make mistakes. People do stupid stuff every day. You know what I'm saying? Whether they drinking, high, or smoking, or whatever the fuck their reasons are. People make mistakes all the time, and that's just what it is. But for the guy to have a fucking clap fest while he's in jail, fighting against you know, yeah, I'm gonna say it, white supremacy, and they smoke him and make him have to actually have a standing ovation when he get back to the jail cell. That's actually crazy to me. It's like, damn, you had to do that. You know, the guys get back there and they like, man, what the hell that's crazy. The bros say hard and often. You definitely got your name lined up, bro. uh, I can't read that next part because I think you was trying to direct that to yourself, Haywood. But what's good? You type fast too, boy. You want them ninja thumbs. Yeah, so anyway, but like and subscribe. Don't just come in here and start and hit the things and now you want me to say something back. Now you got the like button right there. It's empty. What you on? What you on, Haywood? That's how you rocking? Come on, man. Don't be like that. But yeah, as I see that, what's up, Jim? As I see how that they played him, you know what I'm saying? It's like, dang, you gotta have a standard. You have to have a clap fest for somebody that's coming out of dealing with such a crazy trial and all that stuff, man. It's kind of make you kind of feel like crazy as a black guy. It's like, dang, you still can't defeat them. So because being locked up is being held hostage. Being locked up is being held against your will. Being locked up is being found guilty. Being locked up is a verdict that came down against you. So these things in the history of America mean you go to jail and you stay in there. And there's no way out. And then they pop you off. They keep you in there until an out date. You can appeal. You can go through all the trauma. You can even go in there and be on best behavior. But it's going to be a stretch before they actually walk you out of the building. And that sometimes is hard to swallow for people because it's like you're going to be locked up for a long ass time. Even Diddy, at the level of success that he's amassed all this time, he still has to be a person that got to go through the same steps. So it's like, I guess, the humbling element of him, you know. But I guess you could look at the news saying that the Epstein guy, he just was able to commit suicide and walk away from his charges. And that's what you can't commit. You can't convict a dead man. You know what I'm saying? So you can just see that it's like in a lot of ways it's different. It's just different for black dudes. So a standing ovation in jail just made me kind of cringe a little bit. I'm like, man, I don't understand how you can at least just have to have that's like kind of sinister to me. It's like these brothers been fighting and going. Diddy, for instance, had to pay a lot of money to beat his case. That was not no little dollars. That was a lot of bands that had to go into that effect, and he made it happen. And hopefully he'll build his money up again to the same level because you know that's gonna hit him for a few $1 million. And then they got the suits that's gonna come down the pipeline from the people and they're gonna be like, yo, you owe this money. You know what I'm saying? So it's just crazy, man. But it's a part of the game. Diddy put himself in a bad scenario. He trusted the wrong people, and that could get anybody gone. You don't even know who to trust. You know what I'm saying? In life, ultimately, who do you trust? You know what I'm saying? You got people out here that could be cool with you one thing one time, and then they hate you the next. And we all see that. You know what I'm saying? We got friends and family members who probably treated you like that yourself. You got people that's down with you, and then you got people that just start not liking you all of a sudden, and it's like, damn, what's wrong? So that's kind of crazy. You know what I'm saying? What the hell? Let me see how to do this right here. We gotta, there it is right there. I guess that works. No, that don't work either. But anyway, yeah. So I thought that what y'all thought was gonna be a little funny thing about the boy Diddy is that's just crazy how he was able to uh, deal with that. You know what I'm saying? But it's good for him that he was able to. There we go. That was good that we was able to see that he beat that case because it gives like a glimmer of hope for black men. You know what I'm saying? The guy has already shown that he could bring money in and he could be a success story. He could be rich. You know what I'm saying? And how many people can claim that they're rich? You know what I'm saying? That they're successful. Even Jay-Z wanted to have Diddy life. Even Jay-Z went to go and try to gain Diddy's life and Diddy's success story. And he did it ultimately, you know what I'm saying, because he worked his ass off as well. But you see that Diddy at that point of no return, Diddy got to the level that not many black dudes have ever seen. You know what I'm saying? And that's a blessing for him. You know what I'm saying? So I do believe that he'll get out of this case in a minute and he'll be back free. And then when he get back free, he'll be back free doing his thing. So I think that's a good thing for getting success out there and taking care of your life because those girls, they really got found out to be really some trashy women. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's really the ultimate result of their antics. You know what I'm saying? And that had to be pried out of those people by the lawyers. Like they wasn't coming in there confessing their own admissions or what they was a part of. They were coming in there trying to put Diddy under, and he already is a hip hop mogul. He's loved in the hip hop world, even though we talk shit and most people got like some kind of stupid story about the guy. He's beloved in the hip hop world. It's gonna be hard to stamp that out. 30 years in the game, you think you could stamp that out with two chicks and a case? It's gonna be hard to do that. It's kind of hard to explain it, but his legacy was already stamped. So now they can only kind of like taint it a little bit. But in the hip hop world, most hip hop people don't listen to government, don't listen to mainstream. That would be more like the younger generation or maybe somebody else that's kind of like into that, like, maybe watching WWE. So they also probably watch politics. But hip hop has always been anti politics, it's always been anti establishment, it's always been anti normality. So whatever that normal thing is, then hip hop is here to flip that over. Whatever the possibilities is, then hip hop is going to push that even further because that's what hip hop initial origination came from. So you will see people doing a lot for hip hop to know that the hip hop can do a lot back for them. And that's what Diddy did. Him being a beacon of hip hop for 30 something years and a person who you can rely on to be in the media, to be pushing music, to be being a spokesperson. This is way before white people gave a damn about him. They didn't give a fuck about no Diddy. That's like now when everybody liked Tupac. When at the time before he died, motherfuckers hated that nigga and he was finna get locked up for fucking some girl. You know what I'm saying? And literally had just got out of jail by Suge Knight before it all happened. So when you talk about Diddy, he put in a lot of work already that established himself as a hip hop mogul, and money just never stopped coming in. So anytime a person, you got to think about this, Anytime a person came over into the hip hop world, that's the first person they seeked out. Anytime somebody was trying to make it in the hip hop game, that's the first person they seeked out. So there's a lot of people who probably had to start their own thing because he just one guy. He can't meet every single person. He can't connect every single person to their success. So you'll have other people who become the moguls and step into the game if they're in different regions of the world, like when Master P and Baby came from the South. Or you got Block, who brought the guys out from Atlanta back a few decades ago. And so you were able to see that the trajectory was coming from, everybody was doing Diddy. If you think about it, nobody has reinvented the CEO in hip hop. You know, after Russell Simmons had came and gave it its initiation and started that whole lane, then you had Diddy, who propelled it. He basically catapulted. He took it to the next level. He gave you the image that we have in our head today. And then you had other guys that came behind him again, Baby, Block, different guys. The guy who run TDE right now. It's a lot of people who have put their stamp in a game of being a mogul and a CEO of a record label, but only certain ones, only one, matter of fact, has made it to that level. Even when they came to Jay-Z and said, okay, you want to get rid of Damon and you want to get rid of the record label, you want to do all that, what do you want? What do you want? And he said, I want to do Jay-Z, I want to do P. Diddy, I want to do whatever, I want that. And now he's, because of how the media and all that shit worked, he's supposed to be neck and neck with Diddy. Even though he was a rapper for like 15 years. He wasn't even fucking CEO like that. So you know that shit's made up because Diddy was a fucking CEO from the beginning and then he started to rap. Versus Jay-Z being a damn... I mean, Jay-Z, you could claim he was kind of the CEO of the record label because he was ultimately able to crush it. Only the boss would be able to close something. So obviously he still probably was the CEO of that company, but we looked at it like Dame was. But Dame couldn't close the company. Dame couldn't keep it going. And so that kind of confirms that Jay-Z was actually probably the name, and as they call it, whatever member, they got a word for it. But he's basically the main dude at the top. But so Dame, I mean, Puff has already been that guy and left such a legacy in that arena. So for him to be dissed and pushed down and played to the side and acted like and all of the media so racist, so ignorant, they just rolling with everything that they saying. And one person said and they just all grab it. And that's not all media that was doing that, because it's a dude like Seti Nash. He was on YouTube and he was reading it directly from the transcripts. Well, at least the court reported information from another company called Inner City Press. They was only like the first and only ones that they let in that courtroom. So he was reading it straight from that. And that's how you can get the exact accounts that was going down versus people opinion, because there's a whole lot of reporters and stuff out there. You know, but when he got in jail, they supposedly you say they want to show the industry is gay and grimy. Boy, you said a mouthful right there, pause, but that's factual. You know what I'm saying? And that to me makes me have one of the most unique mindsets ever. Just what they won't show says. Because I say to myself, would you feel like you didn't make it if you had to be around them kind of weirdos? How could you assume that you didn't succeed if you're not around them type of fucking people? Like, that would make me throw up. I had to work in Hollywood before and be around weirdos like that. I don't give a damn about your life. You can do what you want to do. But if you disrespect me or get in my face, it's my duty as a man to stand up for myself. I don't give a damn what you do in your bedroom. I don't give a damn how old you are. I don't give a damn what your title is. I have to look at myself in the mirror. And I can't compare myself and self-worth, whether if you consider yourself some level of LGBT. I don't give a shit. If you disrespect me, I'm going to have to stand up for myself. The job is not going to matter because I'm a man. And that's the first thing. So as a person that's a creative, as a person that has always been a creative, why would I feel like I miss out if those are the kind of people who are supposed to be the people you be around? That would make me sick to my stomach. That would make me feel uncomfortable. That would make me be like, yuck. Not saying I don't care about their lifestyle. You choose what the hell you want to do. We all humans on this earth. We choose to walk, live, eat, and do what we want to do. But again, if it's got to be a disrespect level, it's going to be a problem, because that's because you have those elements that you consider in your life. That don't mean you get to play nobody down. That's the whole thing about Diddy. The only reason why he's being castigated and drugged in the ground like that is because he was the one with all the money. He was the oldest one out of the whole clique. So basically, everybody is basically kowtowing to you, and you're not even looking at it as the leader. You're looking at it as like you one of them. Like, hey man, we coming up right now, ain't we? Look at us. And it's like, no, you the one who paying for all this. This is all your operation. And that's what the government was staring at it like, yo, you doing this. These people is only here to try to please you. Now they are here on their own accord. They are here because they grown. They are here because they feel like it. But technically, they here because they want to accommodate you. Yo, make sure to smash the like button. Make sure to smash the like button right now because we talking our talk and we kicking it. Only got 2 likes right now. We need 2,000. So get in there and start using them thumbs for some goodness. Yo, and I do appreciate that he fought back, but it does seem kind of critically foul that he gonna be sitting his butt in jail from now on and a long time. And it's like, you did this to yourself. You know, we don't know who to trust. Like I was saying earlier, who do you trust in the world? Some girl, some guy, you know what I'm saying? Family members, friends from school, you know, friends from the neighborhood. Like, who do you trust? You know, who can you trust? And obviously he trusted the Cassie girl if nobody else. You know what I'm saying? And then he had his little rendezvous with whoever else in his world. And then it came down to this. Where the people looking at you like a pariah and there's nothing you can do about it. And I just, you know, I can't say I feel sorry for him because I do look at it like you brought this on your own self, because I do say if he was dealing with a black woman, if he was dealing with black girls, if he was dealing with people that look like him, look like his mother, look like his girl, you know, the people you know, your level of getting caught up in something like that diminishes. Because number one, you're going to have a certain level of respect for those women. And that's really why he was in court. He didn't have no respect for them chicks. You know, they might not have had self-respect, but that don't mean you got to join them. And if you did join them, it might have to be like a one-night event. It might have to be like, yeah, we just going to kick it today. But if you doing this to them every week, you running up in a chick and you got them doing processes like every couple of months we hook up, we do it again, it's going to turn bad because people are people. And that's all that really happened was them bros got eventually mad. And they was like, come on, think about this. He a millionaire. He finna get back to his normal life after you've been doing all this with him week after week, day after day. Anytime he requested, you saying, bad, let's do it. And now all of a sudden he finna break up with you, whatever reason, argument, he met somebody new, whoever the fuck cares, whatever the reason, y'all break up now, so he just finna go back to his normal life. Wait, you just finna just go back to regular life, and I'm finna be standing out here with the C all in my back of my jaw and the back of my head? No. We gonna go ahead and how we figure this out. You gonna go to jail for what you did, and see again, this is where it come down to who do you trust? You know, he trusted them chicks and they was untrustworthy. You know, but you can't know until it's too late. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm sure they wasn't standing around like, if you ever do something to me, I'm going to get you locked up. You know, I'm sure they wasn't saying that. They was just around him chilling and being their normal self. And then as soon as the moment came, they struck. Because like I said, one of the girls, he was paying her rent, and it was $10,000 a month. And it's unreal to me to be paying somebody rent for $10,000 a month when she's in court trying to get you locked up. Is you crazy? Y'all gotta tell me in the comment section, would you pay somebody rent if they trying to get you locked up, or would you laugh at them and be like, if I ever see you again, I'm not gonna hit you, but I don't never want to see you again. And I get it, you don't like me, I get it, I did you wrong, just go on about your business, just see you around, get out my mansion, get out my crib, I'm gonna put my cousin him up in there, my nephew gotta stay there, he's gonna go to college, get out. But I'm definitely not gonna be paying somebody rent. So you gotta be either a God-fearing dude that pray heavy, or you gotta be somebody with a strong constitution that'll continue to pay somebody rent at $10,000 a month after they did some shit like that. Say Monica said hi. She said she was subpoenaed. Didn't she have to testify? Yeah. I mean, yeah, but she should testify because she felt like a victim. I mean, it's nobody's way to judge her about how she felt with the relationship with Diddy because we wasn't in a relationship with him. And he could have been evil as hell. You know what I'm saying? And then that's only her decision to make if they're going to go to court and try to get this squashed or dealt with. Because, again, it's his relationship with her. We don't know. But I do say that it was sad that that happened to him, that he had to go face the music at this extent. You know what I'm saying? But when you using your money for evil, He was using it for evil. A lot of us would love $1 billion. A lot of us would love $100 million. A lot of us would love $100,000. A lot of us would love $10,000. And at none of those denominations will you think to yourself, I'm about to just go take this and do some freak offs real quick. How much is baby oil, ma'am? You're not going to think that. You're going to probably be thinking about buying some property, buying a house, buying a crib, buying something for your mother, buying something for your kids, setting yourself up in the future, setting yourself up in a dynamic that you're going to have money in the long term. You're not going to be thinking about that. So this is, to me, the problem of being rich for decades. Like, you're bored now. Like, you don't know what else to do. It's like you've been rich since the 90s. Like, what? You know what I'm going to do? I did that already. What should I do? Oh, we know what we should eat? That's right, we had that. No, I don't want to eat that. Oh, guess where we should go? Wait a minute, we've been over there. You did it. You fucking a millionaire, like billionaire. Like, it's nothing. So it's now you trying to find something to get you going, something to make you still have a rush or have a feeling of desire. You know what I mean? And whatever you find, obviously we see what he found, freak offs. And that's what it was, but it cost him a lot. Monica said, I meant she didn't have a choice to testify. She can't afford a court order to testify. Well, you're right. She did have to testify, and she couldn't avoid it. But her objective was to tear him down. She didn't go in there saying that it was a mutual relationship. She didn't testify on his behalf. That's really the whole point of it. You can testify, but you should be testifying on my behalf if I'm paying your rent. You know what I'm saying? If you got another objective, if you came in here to make sure I went to jail, if you came in here to make sure I went down, then I could see your stance. But then you should probably be moving out the damn crib that I'm paying the rent for, because I worked my ass off to get that money. So the people are going to do what they want to do, but that's just my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Like, the girl is what you call an opportunistic person. She was around him for everything he had to let out, which was negative, obviously, stuff she wanted to get him convicted for in the future. And then she's still around him now after she found out and felt like it was too much for the handle. She hated him. He made her do stuff against her will, but you still stand up in the crib that he paid for. It's like, that would be one of the first things you do to get away from this guy if he got you under some kind of mental scrutiny. It's be like, you know what, I'm going to downsize my life. Let's just make my rent be $2,500. Let's let my rent be $1,000. I just don't want to have no more dealings with that guy. Even old girl, what's her name? Tina Turner. She left the guy, and they said, man, we're going to give you some money. She said, I'm straight. I just want my name. And she walked away. So she looked like a respectable woman. But then you got Hillary Clinton. What's up, Sylvia? She stayed with the man, and she became a person running for president. And then she looks dumb. It's like, if you didn't like the guy, if he cheated on you, if he did some negative shit to you, you're supposed to go on about your business and have self-respect. But if you stay with him, and then ultimately you trying to have his job that he ultimately had when you was with him at the time he cheated, you want his 9 to 5. So now you seeking that. And the whole world, all of us regular folks who ain't in y'all relationship, we don't know why he cheated. We don't know what you did to make a man cheat on you. Now all of a sudden, all of us got to be the reason and vote for you to help you come against him or to win some relationship woes that y'all was dealing with together. It's ridiculous. And when the whole country had a chance to decide, they decided she must be crazy. I ain't voting for you, girl. Get out of here. Let me go get a water bottle. Yeah, so I find that to be kind of crazy that she sat there and those girls came to court and tried to make sure Diddy went down, but it just didn't work out. Yes, definitely hit that like button and definitely hit that subscribe button and definitely hit that like button and share all the videos. Definitely use that thumb for some good real quick, y'all. Because if you hit the like button, you'll make sure that my messages continue to go and that they share the stuff like that so I can keep talking to y'all. Because I know you're sitting around wanting somebody to listen to right now. So I appreciate y'all doing that too. You hitting that like button. I'm grateful. I'm super grateful, everybody. I'm super grateful. So that's really what the gist of all that was. It's like the guy did what he could to be in this situation, and he was like the money man behind everything. But you see what it turned out. Ultimately, it turned out where he get to go sit up in jail, and those girls who benefited from his richness. They don't get no absolve. They don't get nothing down on them. Nothing happens. So that's where Diddy finds himself, and we all got to see that happening to somebody who we had revered at one point. But anybody that it was like accused of the stuff he was accused of, people are definitely going to have a different look towards you. They're going to feel some kind of way. Any level of you, they're going to be looking at you like, dude, you weird, my nigga. You weird as fuck. You know, and then to stand ovation in jail. How does that happen? They know when they bringing you back from jail because they know the time frames that happen and stuff like that. The door open, that then they walk you down your galley or something or your tier, and then everybody just start clapping because they can imagine that's you, or they can look outside, or maybe everybody's standing outside in the open. And they're like, "Oh shit, there you go. What's up, boy? We heard what happened, man. Congratulations, my nigga. Damn, you beat them motherfuckers." Because he was gonna be in federal crime. He'd be a federal crime, so that means he in a federal jail. So that means all of the other people that's in there are also fighting federal crimes. So with that being said, they might got some horrific motherfucking crimes to beat, and they don't have the money. So now Diddy in there where people saying, "Man, could you please pay for a lawyer for me, man? I got kids, man. I can't do this time." You know what I'm saying? People be really without money. And maybe Diddy one of the people that'll help people out, because that's probably what he doing in there. You know, you're around a whole bunch of folks that's invalid and they don't have no money. They can't take care of themselves at the level you can, and they need help. So like, I got you. Come on, man. Here, let me help you out. Help your man. Help my daughter too, man. Help my kid, man. He trying to do this, man. All he need is this for the football team. And it's like a whole bunch of help. It might even be some sheriff, police dudes in there like, "Look, man, I don't get paid, but I'm trying to get this thing fixed in my crib. Can you help me?" Did he sit back like, "I got you"? Imagine sitting in jail and you spending $2-3 million a day just because of the functions of it costs for your life to go. And these people talking about trying to sit you down for months. Thanks for liking, y'all. Thanks for liking. I need some more hearts. I need some more likes. Let's go. Let's go. You know, it's definitely another side to the Diddy situation where people believe that he should have been convicted. He should have sat down for what he did. He shouldn't be free. He shouldn't be getting ready to come home. And they do look at him. What's up, Oscar? They do look at him as a threat. They look at him who can, like the cat, they say the girl Cassie sent a letter to the government saying they didn't want him to go free, that she felt threatened for her life. I don't believe nothing like that, because not to say that she didn't do it, but, you know, to say, and all that's, Paula was good. That's to say that, you know, allegedly, but if she did send a letter to the judge saying don't let him out, that's kind of wicked, you know what I'm saying? Because he didn't do nothing to you all the time y'all was broke up. So why would you assume that now all this future then pushed, and all of a sudden he gonna do some more stuff to you? It don't seem real to me. But who's to know? Who's to know that any of that shit's true? You know what I'm saying? So they had basically an inside relationship for all that time, and inside that relationship it was tumultuousness and it was just crazy. You know what I'm saying? But they at least tried to bring some kind of justice towards it. But going to court is gonna be your new reality. You gotta take your ass to the judge. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, damn, I know that was crazy to meet the judge like that. Because think, you got unchecked. Nobody is bringing you to justice. Nobody is checking you. You at the top. So the only person who could check that guy is another is an entity bigger than his corporation, which is America, because the federal government. Because at the level he is at the CEO, another company or another business is not going to be able to hurt him. Even in the media, if it was no real case that he was fighting, it wouldn't have been nothing for him to have to deal with. You know what I'm saying? It would have just been the media would have threw him away and said all kind of foul stuff towards him. And eventually it would have went away. But the fact that he had to actually go sit down in jail and go deal with it in front of the courtrooms, that's what really changed everything for him. And it changed for the worse, because he's definitely sitting in jail right now wishing he can come his ass home. You know, he got 7 kids. It's a lot. I got 7 likes right now. Give me some more likes. But he got 7 kids, and that's a lot of kids that need a father, and they know their dad is alive. They know exactly where he's standing. They know exactly know where he is, but you can't get to him. And then imagine all the years he was running around in the industry, and helping people get richer and getting rich himself, and he wasn't able to be in his kid's life. Kids growing up without a father, kids growing up with the maid or growing up with some person raising them, and the dad gone. You know what I'm saying? And when he get in town, it's short because he got to get back on the road. You know what I'm saying? These are the elements of a family that really could tear this jail thing now, could tear that apart. You know what I'm saying? I could assume that the guys was clapping because they're not able to see their families. And a lot of those guys don't even have the money for lawyers and jail and all that, and they probably will never see their families again. Like even in the future, their families won't be able. It'd be like, I'm getting in here for life, or the family could turn their back on them and say, "Yo, you keep doing this. You're not thinking about granny. You're not thinking about your wife or your kids. We turning our back on you." You know what I'm saying? So Diddy got a chance. And I think a lot of those guys that's in there that's clapping for him, they know that they don't have a chance unless he could turn around and have a heart and say, "I'll pay for your lawyer." But how many people can he do that for in a jail when there's hundreds of people? You know what I'm saying? Said Monica said, "R.I.P. Kim Porter." That's for sure, yeah. But it would have been better for him had he married her, or I don't think he was in love with her like that until she was gone. But had he got married, probably a lot of this wouldn't even be affecting him because it would have been him and his wife. It would be like Tiny and T.I. It's like, yeah, we probably did something, but it was me and my lady, and those girls was involved because they wanted to be involved. It wasn't like, I was doing something on the side. Diddy was a playboy all the way into his middle 50s. And that's crazy. And it don't seem like that when you're younger than 50. It seemed like, what's the problem with that? But when you literally hit 50s and all that, a lot of the people already married. A lot of people already in love. A lot of people got kids that's double sized. You know what I'm saying? So it's not the same that if you actually out there messing around with younger chicks and playboying it, you look kind of goofy. Even though you could be a rich person, even though you could be like super successful by your age bracket, you're going to look goofy. Because it's going to be like, damn, you couldn't find no broad all these years. But it's like, it ain't that. I like young chicks, so why you care, And that's understandable, because you got older women who like young men. You know what I'm saying? But for the guy, it looked kind of weird. You know what I'm saying? The girl was 17 years younger than him. That's like a whole child. You know what I'm saying? And she's older, though. She's grown. You know what I'm saying? But you see how her mentality worked. You know what I'm saying? Her mentality didn't work the same as a person that was his age or a person that was his color. It worked different. So now the stuff they did made her feel victimized. It made her feel like she was being taken advantage of. And she probably didn't tell him that during the time. She probably didn't tell him that when the relationship was over. And at the end of the day, the people never said it was. You know what I'm saying? He said he's selling, it's now said he's selling drugs and has a gun called the cops. He's moving body parts and bags. Yeah, you see the assumptiveness that people have on your life when you're a celebrity and then you get brought down to that extent. It's like, well, what the hell are you doing? What is all this baby oil for? Like, people really have real goddamn questions. You know what I'm saying? So it's crazy. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, what can you say about Diddy, man? I think that he put a lot of hard work in the game, and that was really what worked him, what helped him. You know what I'm saying? What's the name? Prayer in Jesus and the warrior name said, please, he said a lot of men who over 50 and mess with multiple women, men with a little money. My son just told me, mom, my dad got 3 girlfriends and he's 56. Yeah, I mean, it's not odd. That's the whole point. It's not odd, man. You know what I'm saying? The thing about it is that it's not necessarily about the age, really. It's just really about how you treat people. See, Diddy ain't really messed up because he was treating a young woman messed up. He was messed up because of how he treated her. When you see the video of him dusting her off and beating the hell out of her inside the lobby of that hotel, you could just think of your own people. You could think of your own family. You don't even have to really know Cassie to be like, whoa, what is that dude doing all that for? And then that allows the people to judge you. You know what I'm saying? So even if that was a private moment in his life, or even like he said, a moment he lost it, he got therapy since then. Even if any of that's true, when other people see it, that's when the judgment swings out. And most people's judgment is not going to be nice towards you. And then people hate rich people any damn way. You know what I mean? Like, how you get all that shit and I ain't got it could be the thought of most people. You know what I'm saying? I didn't see him beating his case. I really saw him going to jail. I really saw him losing it. I thought that was it for Diddy. Yes, I did. I thought he was not going to win. And for him to win, it really shocked me. It really shocked me because I thought that those people wouldn't understand him being so rich and being so dumb. It's like, you know, he made mistakes. He did some stuff. But, dude, you're rich enough to kind of be in a better position with these people because you could at least gave any one of them women 200, 300,000 apiece. And they wouldn't have been on $30 million suits in the future. But I think guys like him believe that they can break up with females the same way that a regular guy can. Like, okay, it's over with. Don't talk to me anymore. Okay, then she walk away and he walk away. But it's not really like that. If you got millions of dollars, like that girl, he was paying $10,000 a month for her rent. That probably was what she probably wanted. Like, well, I live in an area I want, and I can live right here and have everything I want because it's in walking distance, perhaps. But, you know, maybe if she had 2-3 million, she'd probably be living somewhere else and you wouldn't have to foot the bill or even connect to her no more. You know what I'm saying? But maybe he was footing the bill because he knew what she would do with him and he can keep her, keep her in cahoots whenever he's ready for it. You know what I'm saying? So all that stuff, what starts in the dark comes to the light, you know, so that's a large amount of what happened to him. You know, his situations with the girl was in the dark and it came crashing into the light. You know what I'm saying? And that's really hard to understand. Monica said he was convicted of 2 charges. He is going to prison. How did he win? Well, in my opinion, Monica, he won because he was facing life in prison. He was facing 22 years to life. And if you can get out of jail underneath that time, you won. Because 20 years on top of being 55, 56, you could do the numbers for yourself. And if that's what he was facing. So for those people to let him off on a lesser crime, and it's his first offense, and he's a rich mogul with a lot to lose, they're probably not going to give him 5 years. They're probably not going to give him 10 years. They're probably going to give him like 2 years, 3 years. That's why they keep him locked up, because they are trying to say by having him locked up all this time that his time will be served already. You'll be convicted felon. You'll be a federally convicted felon, but your time in jail will be over. So now he get to get out of jail and go back to his life. And it took him, what, a year and a half to deal with all this? Versus you still sitting in jail, like R. Kelly, he in jail 6 years later. Like right now, he's still sitting in the jail. He can't just walk out of there. He only got the money. He ain't got the lawyers. He had a lawyer that was good for him, but they sent her on her way and said, no, we ain't doing no more appeals on dude. That's it. And so he's got to sit there until he find another way to get another appeal or another lawyer that'll take it on and all these things. You know how it go. So for Diddy to be able to come and that's why the people clapped. That's why they applauded him. That's the whole idea, that they applauded him. Because when they go to court, they're not going to have those 7 lawyers. They're not going to have the money to pay them. So even you go to court, you probably will have enough money for 1 lawyer. You know, and if that lawyer got a buddy, he might bring his buddy, but you ain't going to be able to pay both of them. And if you got a lawyer that's going to come to court, how he going to go up against the government if he don't have some kind of credential or name quality or very respected in the game? All that stuff matters. And so that's why Diddy won, because ultimately within the next 1 to 5 years, he going to have his ass home. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's a definite win. You're right, caught on camera. You're right. That's what his win is. And then you got to think, he's a billionaire. So every day away, you lose money because you got to spend money and you can't manage new money coming in. So it's like you got to sit there like a little baby, like a little child, and don't say nothing, you know, and they be like, shut up, and you just got to be quiet. And then as soon as they leave out the room, you can talk again. And that's really what his scenario is. Because as soon as they let him out of jail, he get to go back to his life. He get to go take care of his kids. He get to go run his corporations. He get to travel the world. He got jets. He got boats. He got fucking mansions all over the country. You understand what I'm trying to say? So it's like you got to kind of sit in time out for a little bit, like, And then they're gonna say, all right, you can go home. And then his going home is gonna be different from anybody in the history of time. He probably will have cameramen out there filming him leaving the fucking federal prison. He probably will have a TV show trying to film him talking about how was it your 214 days locked up, whatever it is, and they're gonna make money from this. And then all the companies he had to walk away from, they're gonna let him right back in. You know what I'm saying? You say, as Fank said, puff a worm, but the other shoe about to drop. Well, you never know what the future's going to entail. But I do say this: it's a good thing that nigga didn't get that life sentence, and that's what they was hoping for. The feds was, and they want all kind of time from him. He want to go home soon. They still trying to get 10, 20 out his ass. It probably won't happen though. Prayer said, nobody but Jesus brought Sean Combs out. Facts. That's the truth in Jesus' name. They wanted to hang that black man wide open. Oh, but Jesus, thank you, Jesus. Yeah, that's facts. But he a praying dude. And Sean Combs is actually one of the religious people. You know what I'm saying? In his own private little world. So he a religious guy. Most guys that be rich like that, they be having they church on their property. They have the church in the back of the crib. So they can basically just go back there and pray. They damn near be ordained ministers because they'll be the minister of their family. You know what I mean? And living on a big compound or rich mansion area that they own. And it's like, I'm the preacher. We all come back here and pray. And it's like, really? Yeah, that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? So that's really what a lot of that has all come down to. You know what I'm saying? And him being such a mogul, it's just really hard to see that go down for him because we all expected him to be rich forever, right? Definitely hit the like buttons, y'all. My like buttons looking light. They looking light up there. They looking light. So he definitely was at a position where he could make more of a stance for himself, but I don't think he was willing to do that. I just know he probably happy it's over and just get your ass back to the crib. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Monica say the feds are going to try to indict him on more charges. You never know. And if they do, he still got lawyers. He still got money. And then Prayer said, it's not religious. I'm sold out. Jesus is not religion. Not at all. I'm glad for him. Say it's not religious. I'm sold out to Jesus. It's not religion. Not at all. I'm glad for him. Well, I mean, I'm saying it for him. It's probably religion for him, my brother. You know what I'm saying? Because he's the one that's in question. And caught on camera said, how they charging with that? With actual what had, unless something else comes up. Well, the feds, man, they really tricky with the game, man. And if they want to push an envelope towards you and smoke you out, it's pretty much nothing you can do. You know what I'm saying? And they can definitely do that because they have the wherewithal and they can make you go to court until you have no more money. And I even remember when they did that to Diddy. I'm sorry, what's his name? R. Kelly. When they came after him, they came after like more people. They came after him in more states. They said, yo, we got you in Atlanta. We got you in Chicago. We got you in New York. We got you in like Florida. It's like, shit. And I had never really seen the government do that, where they swing at you in different directions like that. And it was like, wow, that's really scary to see. You know what I'm saying? So this is where, being rich could also have a problem. You know what I'm saying? Monica said the feds won't stop, can't stop. Yeah. Again, being rich is not always beautiful. It could be ugly. You know what I'm saying? And that guy being as rich as he is, we can see that now. You know what I'm saying? That they can make rich a problem. They can make rich be a fucking burden. You know what I'm saying? And it's like you just wanted to be rich. I don't think you probably thought about it could take you out or take you into some jail cell forever. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know if he's gonna be indicted no more, man. They probably move on at this point. They was able to do something that was probably the most important thing, and that was humiliate Diddy so that he's not able to pass his businesses down to his kids. Let that swoop in while I go get this coffee. Take a leak. So I know his lawyers sitting back and they happy and they like, yo, if nothing else, we getting looted after this, boy. He said Diddy would be okay. Called on camera and said Diddy would be okay. Do his little time and then he get back to his life. I agree. Proud to say everybody want to be rich, but nobody want them rich problems. Bam, boy. Y'all hit them in the comment section. I see what's going on. Monica said the diddler is going to take that 20 years in prison. If he get a Twinkie, and he got to sit down for a whole dub, man, his whole empire gonna crash. See, and this is a lesson to everybody out here. If you have a business, if you have a small business to yourself, you might be teaching your kids. You need to be teaching them something. You need to pull them in a room while they fighting and yelling at you like, leave me alone, I'm ready to play video games. Leave me alone, you ain't took me shopping. Leave me alone, I can't use you, want to let me use the car. Stop and talk to him and try to pass your business down, because this is really what happened to Diddy. If they put him in jail, who's going to run them corporations? Who's going to know how to do it? This is when your accountant come in there and be like, oh, yeah, he gone. Well, he ain't going to miss this 200 million right here. Oh, he gone again? Okay, he ain't going to miss this 150 million right there. And then you pop back out like, ooh, I'm free. Where my money at? Man, how the fuck my money look like this now? And they be like, well, you know John, we ain't seen John in 3 years. He been gone. We've been calling him. You ain't heard from John. Oh, shit, let me check my... And this is where the people get to scam you, because who can run your thing? Who could operate the company? You don't even have nobody to run it doing it. You know what I'm saying? So it's crazy. Hey, prayer, you don't have to prove yourself to me, okay? You said you believe in Jesus. Let that hold you down. And then Prada, dating ain't the same like it was back in the day. There you go. I'm back connected. Yeah, so he ain't getting no dates. Diddy is rich. He's a multi-billionaire. All he has to do is just walk outside. Any girl breathing gonna want to get with him. It's not like that. Any girl, he put on a suit, he put on some stuff and hit the streets. Any chick gonna rock with you, because they looking at it like, yo, he rich. And whatever them girls missed out on, I'm gonna be down because I got money and I got time. So that's something that you got to deal with. But being rich come with problems, and it got rich issues. You know what I'm saying? So it's just how you got to deal with it. You know what I'm saying? I feel like if I get my money to that level, I probably want to have my lady locked down. I probably want to have my crib locked down. I probably want to have all things locked down, so I don't have to be going through what my bro going through. Man, ooh, oh, Mana going with it right now, y'all. She's swinging. She's swinging right now. She's swinging right now, man. She's swinging right now. I can't debate that one. I can't sit up here and go back on that one now. I ain't gonna sit up here in front on that one. Monica said if Diddy had been caught on camera kicking and beating the dog the way he did Cassie, he'd be in prison. Just as Michael Vick, he even went home and went to prison about dogs. He wasn't even home and went to prison about dogs. You will not hear a debate from me on that one, because I 100% believe and agree with that one. I ain't gonna lie, I can't even debate that one. No way at all, no way at all, because I look at it like the people are judging them for being susceptible, for being the fact that you could fall for something. Like somebody, because think about it, we could all fall for it, man. Come on, somebody got stupid money like that pay your rent $10,000 a month, flying you all over the world, got all the clubs, the parties you getting in free. They bought you clothes, they bought all the dope food. Like you live in a level of life that can't even be explained to somebody else. That this is his normal life. This is what he do every day. He been doing this before he even met you, and he been doing it after you. He gone away from you. Like this is his normal freaking life, and you seeing it. So when you come in there and be susceptible or get used or get abused by somebody like that, people regard for that person is so high that they're gonna blame you. And so when she say doing that to a dog, they're gonna think, well, this dog can't think for itself. This dog can't fight back. This dog can't understand love. This dog can't understand that you angry at it because you didn't give it the proper protocol that we say you're supposed to do to an animal before you start beating it. So So I agree with that. That's just one of those moments right there where it's just something that's agreeable by me. I agree with that. He made a horrific mistake by that video coming out, but his bigger mistake was putting hands on that girl like that. That was a little stretchy. He stretched a little too far for that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and then especially when it got out, it's no taking that back. So that's why you say, did he win? He won because he didn't go sit his ass down in jail indefinitely. The fucking facts of that video coming out, 10,000 baby oils, guns at the crib, a mule. They said he had a mule. The white boy was a mule. Drove a mule. Then 2 and 3 girls coming in here saying that you did them foul in their own life. Then all of these guys that you're supposed to have paid for, who supposed to flew across the country to do the activity. You look pretty bogus. But the people are going to judge the participants because they're going to look at them and say, why are you doing this? They're not going to look at them and say, man, you know what? You might have a mental defect and something is going on with you. You might have issues from your childhood. No, you got high. You was drunk and high. That's why you did all this stuff. Yeah, right, guys? Yeah, yeah. Oh, no, you easily influenced. That's why no, they didn't do that to them. They looked at them and said, you was a participant. You was down with this shit. Maybe you changed your mind over the time. Maybe you found God. But at the end of the day, that weekend, your ass was down for this shit. So him being a mogul and a rich person ain't got nothing to do with you deciding to live your life the way you want to live your life. And he ended up walking out of there. So that's why I say it's a win for him, because another instance in another realm, in another moment, in another time or space, he would have been convicted like a motherfucker. Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, yeah, King T. He was stupid wild. But then here's why he went to jail. It ain't about the time frame that he was with the females. It's the time frame he's been rich. He's been rich for 30 years. How many times did he do this? How many fake bras did he go through? How many chicks did he kick it like this with? They could bring 2 women in there to confess about their activity, but it's some people who too embarrassed to come forward. It's some people who they family say, what? I thought you said y'all was doing music. They would never come out and say that shit. It's like a victim of SA. And they like, I can't come forward. I don't want people to know that happened to me. I got an image to uphold. I'm a preacher. I'm a this, I'm a that. I changed my life. But you saw how Mace got away from him in the 90s, right? Or early 90s, late 90s. Mace got, and then he didn't just get away. He became like religious. And that was like extravagantly crazy in hip hop at that time. That was like, what? This really happened, which you already know. So then he stayed away for decades. Why? Nobody knew. I bet you we know now. I bet you we know now what the hell was going on, and we see what was going on. The guy was out there doing some different level activity, and some people saw it early on, and then some people saw it too late. And that's why the government stepped in. Because again, he's a billionaire. So he can afford to hide shit. He can afford to stop people from coming forward. He can afford to keep you quiet. He can afford to threaten your damn life. He can afford to have somebody sit outside your crib and don't say a word to you, but you keep sitting in the damn car. You like, what the fuck is this motherfucker sitting out there, man? Hey, y'all, come spend the night over here, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, whatever it is. And this is a mitigated fear that you could just walk around with, because you was actually sued this guy. You know what I'm saying? And you know he got the money to do this shit. But even still, he's sitting in he's sitting in a prison. You know what I'm saying? So it's like he got gangsters sitting around there to do anything. Hey, you know, I got a nephew who will ride through there, and you know, my cousin, he'll do the delivery thing on that for you if you want me to. So he got to be careful on how he tread, because those people are trying to set some stupid shit up and being like it's his fault that he did it, and it'd be some even more extravagant shit like that. But I'm a filmmaker, so that's why I think of stories that could go even further than what they really are. The guy actually did some real horrific shit to some females, and can't nobody deny that. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, his age and his money should have kept him from being so long of doing it. You know what I'm saying? His appetite was big. He couldn't damn it down, dumb it down. His appetite was like big. You know what I'm saying? So that made him just want to keep going. You know what I'm saying? But that's a lesson to all of us right here in the world that you got to slow your ass down. You know what I'm saying? That it's other people watching you, especially if you're doing some shit like that, that can get caught up and be brought out to the world like that. You got to slow the fuck down because the people you hurting, the motherfuckers they gonna come back and pop your ass one day, and that's really what happened. They came back on him. You know, he probably had broke up with them relationships a while, and each one of them girls came back and sat down in court and stood tall. You know what I'm saying? Stood tall on his ass. It's like damn, yeah. But only reason why some of that shit I don't believe is because Diddy never got a chance to get on the stand. And we got to talk about that for a minute too. So make sure you like the like button because we're going to try to talk about him and the reason why Diddy did not get on the stand. So why would he get a standing ovation if he didn't take the stand? He didn't even speak on his own behalf. His lawyers said, we rest our case. His lawyers said we rest our case after it was their turn. It was their turn to talk and they said we rest our case. What? You ain't calling no witnesses to say, what about his high school coach? What about his grammar school teacher? What about his wife or his girlfriend or his whoever close to him, his auntie? What about his kids? Nobody is going to speak on Diddy's behalf. What about his music executives? What about the contracts he signed with this company? What about his artists that used to be his people around him? What about his engineer who was around him in every music song he made? Like nobody spoke for his behalf, not even his own self. So the fact that he didn't speak on his own behalf, we really don't even know his defense. We don't know if he's going to say, okay, I'm guilty, I was doing this. We don't know if he's going to say, man, he lied. Look, man, all these bros lied on me. Nobody told the truth, not one time. Nobody don't know that. So he didn't speak on his own behalf, so we just got to take the fact of the people who did speak, and that's those females, and all of them feel like victims. So now, what kind of lawyers would make you wouldn't say, would tell you not to speak on your own behalf? What? Hey man, do you hear what they saying? They offering me life right now. And you saying just sit back and don't say nothing? But the fact that he got 7 lawyers, they probably all came to the consensus together and was like, don't say a word, we got you. You know, but can you listen and sit back like that with somebody saying that your life is on the line and you might actually go to prison? You know what I'm saying? Can you chill? Monica say his lawyers orchestrated the standing ovation. Just like they were paying $1 to wear $3 outside the court. Look, you might be one of them investigators, Monica, because you be on it. You like digging deep. Now, come on. You going dig, you mean what's good? You said, Monica said, because the prosecution would have destroyed him and crossed the line. Man, come on, let's go. You already know what it is. If he would have sat on that stand, they would have been asking him stuff about, in 1991, where were you the afternoon? He like, well, hold on, that ain't got nothing to do with these girls talking about. Why are you asking me something like that? Answer the question, sir. He like, I can't answer that, sir. You're under oath. You answer the question. Oh, shit, damn. They be asking him about contracts he probably signed with folks that they was mad at him about. You know what I'm saying? They would, by the time they ask him about baby oil, it'd be like 3 weeks on the stand. Ain't nobody said nothing about baby oil for weeks. They'd ask his ass all kind of questions. So you're right. You don't want to be going up against the feds on some cross-examination. They was hoping he was stupid enough to get up there, but he was smart. He was smart, boy. He was like, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to make sure that I do not put myself in that scenario. And that's smart for him because they would have killed him. Yeah, man. You know these lawyers ain't playing, man. They got your whole life written out. They got your whole life lined up. They know when you were born. They know the year you went to school. They know everything about you. And that's the scenario that he found himself in. You better not say nothing. You know, so he just had to shut up and just deal with it. What up, Dolores? But the thing is that, man, that ought to teach a lot of folks, man, that be careful because I don't think he saw his demise coming like that. You know what I'm saying? But there was a lot of people dissing him on the internet for years. And I think that had like a lot to do with it. You know, he was getting dissed by Gene Deal, the ex-security guard. He was getting dissed by Jaguar Wright, the old singer. And did these people even know him? Did these people even really absolutely know him at the time? But when you get to a level like Diddy, he never responded. He never came out. And that's another thing that you got to do. Bill Cosby did the same thing. They all did the same. R. Kelly did the same thing. They let these real wicked rumors swirl around about them for decades. And then the world changed. The world changes. Now it's not just a rumor. Now it's a stamp. Now it's like, this is who you are. And don't nobody know you personally. They're not hanging with you. They don't get to drink with you on Sunday. So the words that go about become definitions. They become who you are. And it's perspective. It's almost perception. It becomes the reality. It's like, that's not who I am, but how do we know? So now all these rumors been swirling. These people been saying all these salacious accusations and stand stuff, and he just letting it go. Now when the world switch, when they doing all of this stuff, when they doing proactive stuff on essays in different states, now all of a sudden you get wrapped into it. And it's like, huh? And the people who you know, they like, well, this is my chance. This is my chance. And they jumped in and win and said, I'm going to go ahead and put mine in there too. And luckily his lawyers was able to fix it for him, but that was scary. Monica said Diddy would have gotten life if he took the stand. Probably, yup. Hell yeah. They weren't going to play with him in no government. They probably won't play with him on sentencing. You know, the sentencing, he's supposed to go in there tomorrow or today to try to see if they could speed up his sentencing, because they got him sitting in jail till October. That's the entire summer swiped out. And then if you think you finna get home for Christmas or Thanksgiving or Halloween, and they saying you got to go to court in October, and then they tell you, yeah, okay, finally, here's your conviction, 6 years, here's your conviction, 9 years, here's your conviction, 5 years. Now you like, oh, I just sat in here to court, till my court day, pre-trial. Then I just sat in here during the trial. Then I'm sitting here after the trial, and now y'all from convicting me, and now I got to do 9 years or 3 years or 4 years or whatever they give them. And so the lawyers can't fix that. Because in these laws, they got like time frames that you locked into. You know what I'm saying? I forgot what they call it. But those statutes, it only holds so much time. And since he got convicted of the lower of those crimes he was tried for, he actually are facing 10 years for each one, which is the transportation for the act of prosty. You feel me? And he got 2 of them. You know what I'm saying? So each one hold 10 years. So the variation is big. You know what I'm saying? Ultimately, if they threw the book at him, he would get 20 years. So that's the highest level. But all the experts that deal with the law firms and law world, they saying that this is his first offense. He don't have no prior run-ins with the law other than stuff he was found not guilty for or acquitted. So it don't seem like he gonna really get no 20-year sentence or even no 10-year sentence or nothing like that. So maybe at the most he might get 5, because then with it being 2 accounts, they can run it what's called concurrent, which is at the same time. So you got 2 5-year sentences, then you could just basically just do 1 5 years, and then that's concurrent. So basically you serving a time once for both crimes that you was convicted of. Or you can do it consecutive. So it's 2 crimes. That means you do 5 years, and then you do 5 years. They do it after each other. You do the first 5 years, you get done with 1 conviction. You do the second 5 years, you get done with the second conviction, or whatever, 2 years, and now you got to do it back to back. No telling what they're going to do, because that's really up to the judge. And so the judge got 90 days to think about it. You know what I'm saying? And that kind of is a good thing for Diddy, because he not outside showing up at parties. He not outside going to dinner with his lady, and then the people start picking pictures. Oh, Diddy's dating this person. You know, so it's no media. It's no news. It's like you just got to sit in your jail cell and don't get into no fights. You know what I'm saying? Don't be yelling at the guards. You know what I'm saying? But I'm sure mentally it's probably a lot of pain sitting up in the jail cell. You know, like mentally. You know what I'm saying? Like you literally sit in the jail cell, and it's like, let me out this boy. I gotta just go for a walk. Like, can I just get some air? Like, I don't know. I mean, I can assume. You know what I'm saying? That's what he, especially coming from the lifestyle he had, where he was so rich and living at such a high level. It's like now you stuck in a room. His closet, his bathroom closet probably was bigger than his cell. You know what I'm saying? In one of his mansions. Or actually, every time you fly somewhere, you get to be in the suite of the hotel. You know what I'm saying? It's booked in advance. You know what I'm saying? Like, because you got to come somewhere and do meetings or whatever. It's like the level that dude was living at. This is like such a crash in reality. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's not what it was. It's what this is. It's like you got to sit in here. Ain't no comfort. Ain't no relaxing. Ain't no girlfriends. Ain't no nothing. Just jail. So I know that's going to run him crazy. Make sure y'all hit the like buttons. Hit that like button. I'll be right back. yeah, so that being said, man, we gotta see what the future holds for old boy, and what it's going to be for his ultimate reality. You know what I'm saying? What does the future hold for old Diddy boy? Because it looked like them people want him gone. The powers that be, the whoever he crossed. People say it was Diageo, which is the record, the alcohol company he was working for, that he ultimately had to sue, and they ultimately was found, I guess, liable somehow, and he had to actually get paid from them, which put him over the $1 billion stratosphere. So they say, and that allowed him to be like one of the super legends in the hip hop world, because who would imagine that some people who were just making music in Harlem or New York or some area they grew up in could ultimately be some rich dudes to that level? Is like really crazy. You know what I'm saying? But it's reality. You know what I'm saying? So he was able to be successful because of his music world he was in. And that's just good for him. But you see, they saying that his lifestyle was his demise. You know what I'm saying? The way he lived, the way he kicked it, that was how he went under. You know what I'm saying? And we all got our own lives. We all do what we do. But again, if you're doing something that's hurting people and the people feel hurt, that's really what the problem was for him. Those people, they benefited from it at the time that he was actually, being a star, but they felt the whole time like he was using them in the wrong way. And boom, I'm going to court, and that ain't court. And if he didn't have the right lawyers, I think he would have really went down. I think he would have really actually got found guilty and set his butt down for a long time. But it didn't work out like that. Didn't work, and I know his kids probably happy because they could probably look forward to seeing their dad. You know what I'm saying? One day, we all understand what it's like to be away from your family, but you know what I'm saying. The ultimate idea of how long it's gonna be, nobody knows. So look, I'm gonna jump up off of here and catch y'all later on. Y'all gotta hit me up on more of the like buttons and all that stuff like that. Keep me rocking out here and all that good stuff, man. I appreciate y'all listening and watching, campaigning with me. And I'm gonna try to put some new videos on the top and the bottom. We got James Brown. He said hi, Alfredo. Said hi, Paulette. Said hi. I read Monica thing earlier. Diddy would have gotten life if he took the stand. Yeah, that's definitely a key point. Monica right there with us with the laugh emoji. But that definitely would have been a real point if he would have jumped on that stand and people would have killed him in front of his family. The stuff that them girls said about him is egregious. It's next level wicked. The fact that they let that get out, the fact that they let the world hear that is so foul and negative. It's like, man, but that's the lifestyle of the rich and famous, right? I guess, right? We know they do something, but we don't know exactly what they do. Everybody found out the hard way this time. We found out, you know what I'm saying? It's like, hopefully that's why I said I probably would have wanted to take the stand before it was all over, because it's like, you imagine you got to go to jail and people heard that, those things they said about Diddy and how he like it. Imagine having to sit in jail now like that. That information got out. Everybody know you do this certain kind of thing. It's sickening. It'll make me be like, man, y'all can't leave me in here. And then he got an S crime. I said, you know what an S crime is, right? That's when you did something and it's against a female. And now the people want to kill you because they have a problem with they can't see the females in their life. They can't see their sisters, their girlfriends, their mothers, and now here you go. Their daughters, and now here you come in there. They like, hey, I don't care how rich he is, I don't care what his name is. If I get close to him, it's on. So how do you protect yourself in that regard? And they trying to convict you and sit you in there. Like you can't get out. Like it's no escape. Like you in here. And it's like, hey, they trying to kill me, man. Y'all can't let me sit in here. And it's like, what do you want us to do? You gotta get a knife. Diddy gonna have to get a knife, bro. Diddy gonna have to get a knife. And he a billionaire. Could you imagine his knife? All them people gonna be in that sharpening knives for blades and shit. He and that gotta choose between them. Since he a billionaire, he be like, man, give me 4 of these joints, man. Give me all 4 of these right here. And he just in that joint in his cell by himself, jugging, trying to figure out how to slice. All out of breath and shit. Ooh, okay, let me get back up. God, dog. Ooh, Lord. Man. They like, what you doing in there, man? I hear you in your cell. Not, man, I'm in here exercising, man. I'm in here exercising. He and this nigga trying to stab behind his back. Like, I can't do this shit. Lord have mercy, man. Lord, I'm getting dizzy, man. And people like, man, so they gonna come from behind you too. He down there trying to stab him. Get your mother. I'm just gonna jump down and stab feet. That's all. I'm just gonna jump down and stop stabbing feet. Like, how he gotta think this. He gotta come up with a plan because it could actually happen when people try to run in your cell and whoop your ass. And how you gonna survive? This nigga that lost his mind, King T. Your ass wild and you. I'm my nigga going crazy. That's some true shit. King T say he's slippery and can't catch him. He going to be baby oil. Man, that's some funny shit. Now he in jail and shit. The niggas talking about the man, I'm sending you 3 baby oils, man. My family gonna mail it to you. Don't eat trip, bro. You keep them all, my nigga. He in there like, man, if anybody mail me any more baby oil in this motherfucking jail, nigga, I'm finna go crazy. I ain't even finna play with nobody no more. Look, let me make a big announcement. That baby oil shit was a joke. Nigga, don't play with me in this bitch. He gonna have to step out the motherfucker. He gonna have to step out the cell and go crazy. Take that, man. You know they said that to him 1,000 times in jail. They have probably said that to him 1,000 times right now. He and that motherfucker like, man, listen, man. I know y'all think it's a joke because I was making music and making junk. Hey, I'm from Harlem, nigga. Do not play with me. 125th, nigga. I ain't seen none of y'all niggas stand out there when I was out there. You know what I'm saying? So he gonna have to keep it real. But I said Diddy ain't really no hoe ass nigga. Because how you gonna be a mogul running around with all them street niggas in New York, putting them niggas on? You gotta go to their hood, you gotta stand around niggas. This nigga had to do that way before white people put him on TV and Ellen shows. He had to stand his ass in the hood, in Brooklyn, in Harlem, in the backstage of concerts, motherfuckers going crazy, gang banging and shit. He was right there. So you mean to tell me now he gonna go into motherfucking jail and be a bitch? No way. Monica said Diddy is going to be ordering Crisco from commissary. That nigga gonna be like, man, so you mean to tell me ain't no baby oil in this bitch? They gonna be like, man, just get the hair grease, nigga. You know they got the hair grease for the motherfucking waves, nigga. That shit gotta be some kind of way. He gonna be like, hell yeah, give me 50 of them. Man, you bought all the motherfuckers up in the commissary, nigga. I told y'all, this my personal business. Get the fuck out of my cell. He going crazy. He going crazy like. You should say he bought up all the Crisco and that motherfucker. Hey, nigga, Diddy rich as hell. I doubt he gonna be so rich. Them people gonna just probably make him the boss in there. They gonna be like, fuck that nigga. This your whole block. You own this. This yours. You straight, Mr. Diddy. What you need from any one of us, man. Because think about it. When you're a mogul and you at that level, you're not gonna be weak. It's no way he gonna be weak and demure. And no way. He ain't that motherfucker holding the bitch down. Hey, it's a meeting at 6. All you niggas better be out here. And motherfucker like, damn, Diddy talking about a meeting at 6. Didn't want a meeting at 6. I wonder what he talking about. Man, he probably mad about some shit, nigga. I'm being out there, man. I ain't going out there. Fuck that nigga, man. Fuck, I'm going. Man, you better go, boy. Man, if I tell them niggas you ain't came out here, they gonna be on your ass. Fuck it, I'm gonna go out there. Motherfucker Diddy he gonna really have to, he probably on some gangster shit. Because I'm thinking about it. I said, when they put Bill Cosby in jail back in the day, you don't think Bill Cosby was holding down meetings and telling the Crips and the Bloods how they need to be in there? You don't think he was in there and automatically flipped? He from Philly. He grew up there. So he know the lay of the land. Now, when he in TV, hey, it's Bill, everybody. Yeah, come and get me. He getting a pen. He and that motherfucker like, anybody say anything about a motherfucking gelatin or super pop, nigga, I'm going to mark you niggas out. Anybody say anything. They like, Bill, calm down. Calm down. Ain't nobody in here, man. He blind as hell and shit. He screaming at the back wall. They like, the door over here, man. Hit the boy, come on over here, Bill. Go ahead, just say it again, man. Motherfuckers listening. That motherfucker going crazy. So these guys came from the hood. These guys came from the street ground. The thing is that they got a bigger check than most black people. Me, you, everybody, they didn't get a check. We didn't get a check like that. They just got a bigger check, and they probably got it frequently. They probably got a big check 15 times. They probably got a big check 48 times. Or 14 years of just getting a big check. Bank account going up. So, but they still remember the block. They still remember being in the hood. They still remember being standing out there with their friends, drinking, smoking, talking shit like, hey, come your ass out, nigga. I ain't finna be out on my fucking date. You know, talking shit. They still remember being there. So if you gotta go to jail, what you think finna come out of you? Ain't no gelatin pudding pops coming out you when you go to jail. You're gonna go in that motherfucker and you're gonna transform. You're gonna transform. You're gonna be who you are when you ain't in front of white people doing TV and movies and shit and just little kids there and you're like, hey, little baby. Now you're gonna transform. And now you're gonna be back to motherfuckers don't know. But they ain't got no cameras in there. Ain't nobody gonna be filming shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's like motherfucker getting your face. It's like, man, get your bitch ass over here. Who the fuck you think you playing with, nigga? Ain't no fucking, hey, this ain't TV, boy. Get the fuck away from me, nigga. And I'm like, man, Bill going crazy. Man, Diddy, man, that nigga do not play. You heard? And you know, I even think R. Kelly probably doing that shit. He's like, hey, nigga, sing another song. Nigga, hey, remember you was in here, you was singing. Hey, who said that? Sing another song. Nigga, who you playing with, boy? Do I look like, man, come here, man. And my friend's like, man, calm down, Bill. Somebody scraping my shit. Oh, that's the motherfucking delivery dude. I heard the dope, the thing scraping and shit. I'm like, motherfucker trying to break in. It's loud, motherfucker breaking in the crib. See, I would not be Diddy or Bill Cosby. I'd be that motherfucker like, man, oh, y'all, it's too loud in here, man. It's too loud. Be quiet, man. It's motherfucker going crazy. They're like, nigga, you been here 2 days. You gotta get some motherfucking strength, nigga. Like, relax. It's gonna always be loud in here. But Diddy and them, they gotta get their shit together, man. Yo, I see you, bro. Hey, UPS dude. You can leave it there, bro.
Sorry, this one's yours.
Oh, okay, you threw the wrong one. Okay, I got you. Appreciate it. Well, girl, what's up? Stoner Trap was popping. They said they tried to home. Steve Stoner say they tried to home. Monica say when the court told Diddy no to $50 million 3 times, like Cat Williams said to do. That's how you know Diddy would never get out of prison. Ooh, you heard that? You heard that? Hey, that's a prediction right there, boy. That's a prediction right there. You never know. See, these people, man, I'm telling you, like I started this podcast, they wicked, boy. They don't get you in them positions and then let you walk out. You right about that. I forgot about that 50 milli. And they said no. They said, nah, keep that, keep that. They say take that. They said keep that, keep that. Now he's sitting back like, what the fuck? 50 million, y'all don't want that. Man, what's wrong with these motherfucking people? They're like, dude, you might have to post up in there, man. You might have to post up in there, man. That's why I say he's gonna probably get comfortable in the game. He ain't gonna be up in there like no bitch ass nigga. Diddy from the streets, nigga. If you ever think when we was kids, when we knew in the 90s, you don't know what his future was gonna be like. Like he gonna be who he is and $1 billion and blah. But at that time, he's from the streets. It was no joke about it. It wasn't a question. It wasn't a comment. Matter of fact, what made it weird, his first question on what Diddy from the streets is when old boy got on the stage and said, Suge Knight got on the stage and said, yo, ain't gonna be no dancing in the videos no more. So everybody was trying to see next, what was Diddy gonna do? Because that's how the beef kicked off. He was basically saying, all that dancing in the videos, all that shit, we young and shit, like 22 years old, like, man, what the fuck wrong with them, right? Because we had been watching Diddy do this shit for like 8, 6, 7 years, rising to that point. But now hip-hop was in Cali, and Chronic and all that shit, you know, Doggy Style, all that was hitting. So now that all that was hitting, it was like, oh shit, dude saying no more dance. So we was trying to see what Diddy was gonna do. But Diddy still tall. He ain't fall back. He ain't fall down. He ain't nothing. He kept dropping motherfuckers, putting out new artists, making that shit pop. He kept doing it. So what the fuck, you know? Old boy was found basically goofy for saying that. You know what I'm saying? Because Diddy, and then eventually, you know what happened to Suge Knight, he started getting knocked out and doing all kind of bogus shit. It looked like he lost that ultimate battle between him and Diddy. But now you see both of them locked up. Who's the winner? Who's the winner? That's something that's kind of sad when it comes to black men, because who becomes the winner in that situation? They both could have just went to school and got a damn job at a fucking Fortune 500 or worked to the damn warehouse or a mechanic shop. I think they still would have probably ended up in jail. So even if they became mogul and super millionaires, they made mistakes, did stupid shit, whatever, bam, found themselves in jail, just like if they would have stayed in the hood. So it's a question to me. It'd always be like, what's the reason for trying to seek success if you're gonna get locked up like a nigga from the block? Because that's ultimately what happened to these guys, from Bill Cosby up in his 80s to these guys, R. Kelly, Suge Knight, fucking Diddy. They're around the same age, all the way down to little young, what's the youngster from Chicago rapper, Lil Durk. All of them still got the same results. It didn't matter what age bracket, and it didn't matter what their trajectory was or what they sought after. The fact that they was musicians and in the music thing, and they were making rap songs and they traveling the country and doing shows. No matter what their personal lifestyle was. One might have been a gangster. One might have been a sex guy. One might have been a fucking a brute. Or one might have been an old man, what they call them, people like old freak man or whatever the fuck you want to call them, I don't know. But they all got the same results, even though they was all different humans and had all different trajectories and had all different routes to get to their success level. They all, it was like a little mouse in a maze and shit. You just run into that bitch. You like, I'm running. Well, I'm gonna find a way out this motherfucker. And bam, right to jail. You like, wait a minute. I thought it was a mansion and cars and big ass houses supposed to be at the end of this. It's sad. You know what I'm saying? To me, it's sad. King T said, you better have somebody release them tapes. They're about to try to Epstein him. Oh. If them tapes come out, yeah, because you probably see some shit that don't need to be seen. King T said, you got to be like Kendrick Lamar. Do your thing, make music, make your money, stay your ass in the house. Facts. Yeah. But then how many times is that going to be successful for you? Everybody partying. Everybody at Jay-Z garden party or whatever the fuck, and you in the crib with your lady and shit. You in the crib with the kids. I mean, that could last for a while. Especially, when you get my age, you wouldn't give a shit no more. But when you young, when you an artist that's starting to get that buzz and that time, you ain't gonna be sitting in no damn crib. You ain't gonna be sitting around chilling. You'll be arguing with your lady. You hear about a lot of times when people be artists and then they don't be so big no more. And the first thing you hear about them, even NBA players, the first thing you hear about them is getting into a domestic violence situation with their lady. That's all you ever hear. They don't be big. They don't be the shit no more. And they be like, Ying Yang twins in jail. One of the Ying Yang twins in jail for domestic violence. You be like, damn, what the fuck happened to do? Mystical in jail for grabbing his baby mama. You be like, wait, huh? It's like, because they sitting in the crib. They ain't really on tour no more. They ain't working it. They ain't in the studio. They ain't got nobody calling them, paying them to show up no more. So they boast it up like, yeah, it's trouble out there. It's crazy out there. You gonna get in more trouble sitting around your lady and shit, posted up every day in the house. You like, damn, you got this motherfucking room stinking like a motherfucker. When you gonna clean it up? Or damn, the crib falling down. You just gonna sit back here and do that with your friends? You being like, oh shit, wait, babe, relax. You know I'm going through shit. Yeah, you been going through some shit for 4 years. Now how the fuck when you gonna get your shit together? You like, oh fuck. Okay. I did spend my last check on bills. I probably should have kept it and got me a one bedroom or something. You sitting back going crazy because life's smoking you. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like, how do you get out of those scenarios? That's why you hear people. This what makes Diddy such a success story. Because no matter what element of life it was, like in your 20s and your 30s, and everybody gonna go through their scenarios in these decades of times. Your 20s, your 30s, your 40s, it's going to be different stuff. Whether it's death in the family, you losing a job, you getting kicked out of apartments, you're homeless, domestic violence. It's just a myriad of things. You might be caught up on drinking or smoking at some point in them times, 20s, 30s, 40s. Then you hit your 50s. All of that time frame, he's been a multi-millionaire. He's not ever went below, like you losing all your money and shit, like maybe you invested in something that just keep diminishing and diminishing and diminishing. It's like, nah, every time a year went by, his shit went up. To the fact that I said earlier, a person like Jay-Z, when they came to him and said, okay, what do you want? He said, I want to do what that nigga doing. And now if you look around, Jay-Z is Diddy twin versus Jay-Z having his own life or trajectory or look or his own thing he did. He just basically just mimicked Diddy. Now, he got more ventures than Diddy got, but he basically just did that from being an artist to a CEO mogul. That's really what Diddy did. But Diddy was a mogul first. He did the rap second. So he was able to just continue that business acumen that he put out there, but it was something to admire and something to want to imitate. And now you got Jay-Z doing the same exact thing. But it's all about what you do behind the scenes that this whole conversation is about, that all the media is about, that everything has been questioned. It's because of what the guy did behind the scenes. But again, if you didn't speak up on your own behalf, can it be believed? Did he do these things? Was these questions that these women said about him real? That's something to question. Because, if they were found not guilty, or if he was found not guilty for his necessary relationship with them, then you can almost look at it like he was not guilty of the stuff that they was claiming. You know what I'm saying? Because the actual people listened to it and was saying, okay, he do what when the other guy bust? Oh, okay, but they heard that and was like, nah, we don't believe it. That how did the lawyers fix that? How did the lawyers fix that? These to smooth all these things out. You know what I'm saying? Because that's a lot of wrinkles and shit that was in all that. And then the lawyers had to go in there and dissect each statement, each point. They had to figure out which points to dissect, which points to bring back up in the delivery, in the closing arguments, which points to actually to tap into and say, yo, this is what I want y'all to remember when you go back and deliberate. Remember when they said this? Remember when this girl, because you know I told you they had went back into the text messages of some of those witnesses and found out at the time that they were claiming to be SA'd or whatever, that they was up there making points about Diddy on their Facebook or saying some positive things about him or making photos or saying I love you or you my mentor or making all these, even voicemails saying I'm grateful to be around you. So it's like he got really records of them talking about the admiration that they having for him, but they understand claiming the opposite, which honestly, if any of this stuff that they claiming was true, then the natural thought would be you wouldn't go back around somebody like that. That's just a natural thought. Now you might be coerced. What's those words they got, like syndrome or something like that, when the girl fall in love with the person that's kidnapping her, I forgot what they call it. But these things is what people could possibly go through. But you mean tell me 11 years go by and you still within this warped mindset? That's kind of be hard to believe. You mean every single time you came around him it was bad, but you kept showing up? Stockholm. There you go. There you go, King T. Yup, you know your game. And so these are things that people have all been, had to go through when they've been victimized. But then these people here, they was basically benefiting from the victimization. Yeah, Monica, cycle of abuse. They was able to say, you know what? I'm taking a lot on the chin, rocking with dude, but the caviar sandwiches, the fucking 10 table lunches that we have, when I fly up here to Costa Rica, first class, it's outweighing it. It's like, it's kind of like, I kind of like it. I like it. I was at that show. He had brought me that gown. He taking me to the award show. It's like you're being okay with the victimization, and this is where the jury get to sit back and dissect you. And you know that it's a guy that's out there claiming that Cassie gave him the C word, Dia. And he's saying that was during the interactions with her. And he said that she made him get with her during her monthly cycle. So he was basically making these accusations, but the prosecution didn't bring him to testify because obviously the defense would have been able to cross-examine. And he would have made this guy seem even worse than what, or make Cassie seem even worse than what she probably was. But even though she had some culpability for her actions in that time, because the guy felt like she victimized me. Now, y'all might not want to bring it to the point because I'm black, or you might want to bring it to the point because I'm a man, but he felt victimized like she felt victimized. But they didn't actually bring it to court. His lawyer wouldn't file the case because his lawyer is actually trying to file some of the civil cases against Diddy. And he's trying to use Cassie as the victim in those cases. So why would he file a case against Cassie? They just happen to run into the same lawyer. So he had to go to that lawyer and say, give me my damn forms back, and go get him another lawyer to try to sue Cassie. And that's what's going to probably come down the pipeline in a minute. You know what I'm saying? So Steve O'Sona said they took it on the chin, pun intended. That's a fact, bro. That's crazy. King T said, where niggas predator, he's not going to be mean. He going to be real nice and give you what you want or what you're looking for. Yup. But look at that, bro. King T said the devil come nice with gifts and all with gifts. Yeah, that's facts. Yep. If you think about it, why would he come in choking her out and be like, yeah, bitch, you gonna do this? She would have ran to the damn hills. So he was giving her all of those trinkets. And think about this. This is where Cassie probably, in my opinion, was the biggest victim. I don't care about her relationship she had with him in the bedroom because, again, that's private. I think that her victimization was from the fact that he didn't do nothing for her record music. the fact that she came around him with the idea that you're going to do something for my music, but he was able to manipulate her into thinking that this is the path. This is through me. I'm saying if you're going to come through me, this is what you got to operate like. And then it just it lingers on, and now it becomes a lifestyle or the way of living. It's not the way she wanted to start it off. It's not the way she figured it was going to be, but it just started being like that. Then people admire you. They're giving you all this adoration because you're with somebody like that, or you get cahoots with somebody like that. Everybody talking in high regard about you. What's up, Joanne? And so you looking at it and you saying like, I'm just gonna let it keep going because everywhere I go, I'm the talk of the town. You know, people love me. They think I'm somebody. So I'm not gonna just let this go down. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's where it was. Yeah, but that's what happened. Yup, Steve-O Sterling. Yup. I think that she didn't come there for that. You know, it's almost like that. You know, even if that's why she felt like, even if ultimately I did like it, or even if ultimately I started being a part of it, you know, that's not what I signed up for. You know, that's not why I woke up until you and we started doing this thing. This is something that you tried to, you know, anybody can mac down a chick, man. Come on, let's be real about it. King T, she didn't really have talent, but she had beauty, and he never empowered her. Facts. But I would say something like this. If you somebody like Diddy, you don't necessarily have to, you can make a person famous. You don't have to be keeping them in the background because you might not believe that they got some kind of level of quality of talent, because he could have put her in movies. He could have put her in plays. He could have put her in fucking TV shows. She didn't have to be a fucking singer. She didn't have to just go and goddamn make it. That's crazy. Steve-O Stoner says she was requesting the freak offs. Yep, that's true. Then Bammy was good. And Steve-O Stoner said, but you got to negotiate your freaky deal. Yep. That's probably what she should have been doing. She should have been telling him like, yep, said you're in need of sex work lawyer. Now, where's them and where are they at? They're going there and negotiate for you. Hey, boy, you just gave me an idea for a skit right there, man. That's funny. Walking in with a prostitute or a sex worker. Got a guy lined up, and then when he ain't negotiating right, he'd be like, yo, the lawyer pop in and be like, hey, man, you need to come through me. I get a percentage of what that's going to happen right now. It'll make creeping out on your lady a whole different level if you have to pop up on the sex work lawyer. That's crazy. That's crazy. Could you imagine them popping up? You flew a girl out and you up in there like finna get your demonstration going on, and then he pop up and be at the door. Yeah, okay, she made it. Okay, well, you need to go ahead and sign this and then put the deposit down here and then everything go. You like, what is you, man? Oh, you don't know, bro? This turn around sex work. You see my lawyer? Yeah, the lawyer, man, 1-800. So this how it work. You be like, man, how the hell this happened? Yeah, you did the flu out, right? So that means you get this page right here. So you be like, oh, shit, hold on, bro. Slow down, man. Slow down. I know her. I met her on the street. I don't know how you got involved with this. Man, this is automatic, my brother. You know, I'm gonna give you a deal since your first one. You know what I'm saying? You understand? Monica said she wanted until she didn't. She can do all of that, but she said no, and he didn't stop because it became a crime. Yup. She said yup. See, Monica always trying to put us back in line. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to be on some dude shit with it and talk about it from a guy perspective. But then she hits you with the other side where you like, oh, okay, technically, that's true. That's absolutely true. I remember being a little kid before you can even have a girlfriend. I think I Need a Girlfriend was on the radio from New Edition. This is so long ago. And I remember my father said, a girl always has the chance to change her mind, no matter what. And you're a little kid, so you wish you had a girlfriend like in your future, is what he's talking about. So he would always tell us that. A girl always got a chance, no matter what's going on, no matter what she said. As soon as she say no, you got to stop. And you sitting back like, why girls got a chance to change their mind, but dudes don't? Like, I get to change my mind too, right? But you're a kid. You don't understand the level of what he's saying until you get older, and then you start understanding that stop. But see, to me, learning about it as such a kid from my father, I don't feel like I'm missing out. And I think a lot of guys might feel like when a girl say no, they missing out. It's almost like, to me, it's like a dud, like the firecracker again. It's like, oh, damn, that one ain't crack. All right, whatever. Let me go to the next firecracker. I'm not gonna sit here and keep, obviously you are as a dude, you're gonna keep trying to talk her out of it, but you don't understand what I'm saying. If it's a dud, it's a dud. It's like, all right, move on. And, you know what I'm saying? So, but that's where Diddy did not capture the understanding when he should have stopped. And the stop is important, you know what I'm saying? Steve O'Stoner, that's cap. That's why the charges didn't stick. Monica's, yeah, that has a lot. That has a component because the charges didn't. The people had the jury had a chance to hear that same testimony and that same vantage point coming from the prosecution, and they didn't agree. And ultimately, that's what ultimately counts as the actual convictions. And his convictions was not guilty for the part of putting him in that position. That was almost like they chose to do that. Monica said Cassie was not on trial. Ooh, she's shooting jump shots, bro. She's shooting trays. She's shooting trays now, because to make the victim the what they call it, like making the victim you know what I'm trying to say. They're not gonna look. They ain't gonna go for that. America do not play that. So the victim can't be also the perpetrator. It's like almost the first person who called the police. Like your girl could slap the hell out you and scratch your damn face, and if she called 911, you going to jail. And then you in jail with scratches all over your face. Niggas like, did you fight a bear, nigga? What the fuck just happened to you? No, man, my girl was tripping, man. She going crazy, man. I wasn't passing the pepper fast enough, man. It turned into something. Niggas like, God damn, are you serious? I'm in here for killing 14 people and shit this morning, but I guess we in here together. You like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? So that's a lot of truth in that. You know what I'm saying? RH said you obviously have a lot of free time. RH says you probably have a lot of free time. I actually do, bro. Thanks for actually figuring that out, because I got 97 minutes in and you ain't hit the like button. I read your thing. RH, you just got fired. Trump just said you just got fired. Steve O'Sterner said Cassie was a witness to sex trafficking charges and was a part of the case, just not for domestic violence. Facts. That was weird. That was weird that those people only talked about domestic violence. I almost want to say that, to me, make it seem like Diddy paid for that. But somebody said on here yesterday, who would pay for that type of humiliation? And that's true too. But it's like, why would the prosecution, knowing how to prosecute a RICO, only talk about a domestic violence element of his life? Like, you already know how to prosecute one of these. You could literally go pinpoint the elements of a RICO and ask those specific questions and smoke them. But you know why they only could ask domestic violence questions? Because the only witnesses was girlfriends, people who he domestic violence. They don't know nothing about a damn RICO. They don't even know how to look at a fucking RICO. They just regular people. They just humans. They can't look at a RICO and say, that nigga Ricoing over there. Oh shit. We in a party with goddamn RICO. They wouldn't be able to see that and know that. They just kicking it with him and just partying and getting their freak on. They not looking at it like this gonna ultimately be in a courtroom on TV. But it did. Joanna Thompson said, Monica, I just realized that Cat and Judge turned down the $50 million 3 times. That's creepy. Diddy been trying to give away $50 million a long goddamn time. Because you got the fourth one is the government. They don't even want this $50 million. Like, you got Cat Williams, all them niggas, they turned down $50 million. He said, oh, that's funny as hell. And now all of a sudden, the government turned down the $50 million. It's $50 million swirling around in Hollywood, and one of us gonna go get it and be like, we ain't gonna let them just have a dangling $50 million out there, and then all us sitting out here trying to have to go to work every day. It's like, give me that goddamn money. You know what I'm saying? James White said, where were the white people that were engaged in the activity? See, that's why I rock with this dude right here. And I've been talking all this stuff, and he finally got to my kind of conversation. What up, Jimmy boy? Look, at the end of the day, they are not going to be caught responsible for your own activity. If you following them, if you rocking with how they taught you, or you doing the same activity and they know about it, you still going to go down yourself. You can't look at it like that and be like, yo, white people rob banks, they ain't going to jail, but they lock them in, what's the name up? It's like, nigga, you got caught robbing the fucking bank. Yeah, you gonna go to jail, nigga. You can't do what they do and expect the same results. What the fuck you talking about? You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't do, that's not how it's gonna go. You know what I'm saying? That's a conspiracy, right? You're right. You're like, wait a minute, well, all the white people like, Hold the fuck up. I bet you Diddy just said that shit about 15 times. I bet you Diddy has said that about 15 times. Where the fuck is the white people at here, man? I can't fucking believe this shit, man. Monica said they're going to the get KK to just wait, to just wait. Damn. Ooh, you think so? Yeah, they on TV. With they gonna pull the dad out there. He gonna be in court in his best dress and shit like that. I'm down here for my daughter's son and be like, what do you say? Like, dude, man, Hollywood got the different humans on Earth. I think we can all agree to that. They got the different humans on Earth. Like the ones that, I sometimes say they get the money to the dummies. They get the money to the dummies. They're not gonna let me and you get that money. We're not finna walk around with that kind of cake. They had to give it to the dummies. Somehow they're gonna make sure the money swirl back around and go back to them. Like the dummies are gonna make sure you get the money back. Like, hey, I'm gonna hold this for a minute, but I'm gonna give it right back to you. So that's why I think they get the money to the dummies. Because if Diddy and them got that kind of money and they could find themselves in these kind of situations, it's really telling about how smart they are. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. Joanna say, oh, I'm white and I'm 65. Whoa. There's black laws and white laws. Do as I say, not as I do. Factuality right there. You know what I'm saying? But hey, it's all about anything. I still go back to that same point. It's about getting caught. You know what I'm saying? Everybody probably doing some kind of level of crime if you run a stop sign or a stoplight. But it's only when the police pull you over that it's a problem. You know what I'm saying? If you did it and you made it to the house, or if you haven't gotten crossed that thing and running the light and nobody crashed into you, then okay, you made it home safe. But it's when you get caught that it's a problem. That now you got to face the music. So that's really like that. Or even something worse. You might actually cross the train tracks when the train coming because the thing is dropping. And you might just say, I don't feel like waiting. Choom. You know, oh shit, this is a long ass train. Choom. But it's not until your car get caught on that magnet that you can't get your motherfucking ass out that car, but then it's too late. Now you sitting there trying to get yourself out, your girlfriend and your mother. And you sitting there like, I can't only probably save myself. I ain't finna jump out the car and leave them. But the thing barreling down. So you got to make a decision. They gonna get hit and dead. Are you gonna save yourself? But you could have just not went that and did that. But you one of the people that take them chances, and now the chances ran out. So that's pretty much what Diddy found himself in. He had a chance to not do that shit and slow down and take a chill, get back to his kids. Imagine how much he was thinking about probably prior to this moment. Like, I got to get back to my kids, man. I got to get over here. He could have been out of the game already and was like, I'm just around my kids now, man. You contact me, I'm with my children, I'm in the house. But it's too late. Everything started swirling. Everything started popping out the woodwork, and now you stuck with it. Now you can't fight back. Now you in there. How you gonna fight back from jail? How you gonna hug your kids from jail? How you gonna kiss your mother from jail? Take her to dinner and talk to her, just one-on-ones. How you gonna do that? You know what I'm saying? You sitting in there, they gotta come visit you in there. Everybody gotta come down there and visit you. They looking at you like, how the fuck did he get in here? And then where your friends at? Where the people who you got rich? Where the people who you made money? Where the people who you gave shit to? Where are they at? It's not even real. You can't even get none of these people to come and show up and say, man, If this was the 1960s, it would have been black athletes, other artists, singers. They would have went down to the courtroom when white people was down there with them fucking cameras, and they'd have said, we standing with P. Diddy, and we're going to stand with him until he's found not guilty or found guilty, but we're not going to leave our brother standing on the sideline like it's bogus. We're going to stand with him. You said a picture of Diddy behind you is creepy, yet hilarious, yeah. He's sitting back with that crazy gloat. He think he want to get up out of there, but it ain't looking good for him, bro. And he say, Monica say he could have left a legacy and money for 10 generations for his family. Man, you said it. You said it. You said it. And so when you think of a conspiracy theory, that's what I believe. When I think about the guys clapping for him, that's really what that clap mean. It's so many levels of what that clap mean. He gets to go back and be around his kids at some point, but they was charging him with life. That means he would have had to pass the torch to his company and his kids right now, like within the next year or two, and then he sits in there. So at least he'll be coming home within another 10 years or at the less, at the highest, hopefully. And then he'll be back. And now he can go ahead and say, okay, cool, let's recalibrate my business. Let's get going. What did we save? What we lost? You know what I'm saying? Because think, you paying for mansions, you paying for boats, you paying for all kind of shit you can't go on. What if, you had, like, you so rich, you plan your vacations and you just pay the shit in advance. All these vacations you paid for, you can't even go on now. The people looking at it like, ain't no refund shit. We've been spent that money. We didn't know you was going to go down for this. We thought you was motherfucking be out here. You know what I'm saying? But now you like, hey, I know I put that deposit down and shit. Can I get that back? They're like, nigga, that'll make us close our company if we get that shit back. Nigga, we need the other half, even if your ass don't make it out here. What the fuck you talking about? So it's like, Charlene said, sending love was up. Lil Cedric said facts. So, it's just again, it's one of those things where you could speculate for hours and days about what his future is going to be, but it's something to really think about because again, even at that level of money that he made, he still found himself in jail. That to me, that's diabolical to me. I don't care about necessarily what the crimes were. It's the facts that you can go to jail at 55 years old. That to me was crazy. It's like you're not free. You're not gonna slide through. And there's a lot of people who have made it. Look at Jay-Z. He's older than Diddy, and he ain't a jail guy. He ain't went to jail for nothing like that. So it's people who do make it all the way around and don't actually find themselves in that kind of predicament. So it's a lot of times your karma and what you putting out, how you treating people. You know what I'm saying? That's really what the gist of it is. I gotta cut this fan on real quick. And I'll be right back. Yeah, so that definitely is a phenomenon about Mr. Diddy that because I used to rock with the guy a lot. I liked the success level that he was reaching. I liked that he had built his life up from nothing, but definitely seeing somebody go down at that trajectory so easy and so fast, it really is telling. It shows you that America is a monster, boy. It could turn on you. You know what I'm saying? And we all know that there's other people who've probably done the same stuff that he's been accused of, but they would never find themselves in that kind of situation. No courtrooms, no judges, no culpability at all. They'll be absolved completely. You know what I'm saying? They won't have nothing to face. It's just like that. But y'all ain't hitting the like button, and that's probably saddening me. So it saddens me a little bit. I need some like button activity. Free Young Diddy, y'all. You know what it is. You know what it is, Stoner. He gonna get up out of there. He gonna walk up out that spot, man. Because we want to see our moguls actually have mogul ability. You know what I'm saying? Let them go up there and do it. You know what I'm saying? It's the idea that Diddy is the poster child for people who live nefarious lifestyles. But I guess all of the NFL owners must be some kind of perfect people. Oh, my like button is not showing. Well, other people been hitting it, bro. I guess they hitting something up there. You know what I'm saying? But Gina said, I hate to see the feds take all his stuff. Yeah, they smoked him. They smoked him. But they could take more. You know what I'm saying? When you get hit for a federal crime, they could definitely come in there and say, but that's what the whole RICO thing was. the RICO thing would have ended him forever. You know what I'm saying? Because if they'd have found him guilty of that, that means they coming in there and taking their shit. They'll still probably do it under these convictions because, again, it's a federal crime. And they look at it like anything that you use to commit the crime, anything that you tried to commit, you use the crime, is that. Yeah. But hey, Stone, I agree with you, bro. It's actually LGBT. But look, I agree because I was like, the fact that Diddy was dissed and dogged out for his sexual lifestyle, and the fact that they let everybody else with a different, or they call it alternative lifestyle, and then when they found out about Diddy, he get dissed, but everybody else get a letter. Oh, LGBT. And I said, but damn, why don't they just go ahead and let the nigga be LGBT Diddy? Because this motherfucker, we just found out about his, and I'm sure there's other people that like that kind of stuff as well. So, why the hell they dissing him? And Monica said Diddy will be released from prison on the 12th of Never, feet first, and with a tag on his toe. That's a possibility, boy. That's a possibility. You see that judge, he wouldn't let him out on bond. It's like he trying to make sure Diddy don't go home. I'm telling you, man. It really was scary that day when he didn't let him out. It was like, huh? What you mean he can't go home? But he said no. Like, oh shit, that's kind of crazy. James White said, they got Uncle Bill, man. Now that was petty. Yup. And he was almost 90 damn years old. 80 some fucking years old, an old ass man. You know what I'm saying? So that's crazy. And what Cedric said, it's crazy how Trump can do the most and get away with that. And that's crazy to me. It ain't crazy to me. It's skin color. To me, that's how the country is made. Joanne said, I have wedding cake, indica, relaxing. Oh, wow. Good for you. Steve O'Stoner said, we adding his face to the flag. Yeah, man. Because it should have been where he was looked upon the same way as soon as they figured out he had an alternative lifestyle, but that's the racism element of it. Everybody else get to be different, and everybody like, look at the Kardashian dad. That nigga got to be, he be getting GLAAD awards because of his antics, and then he was supposed to have killed a person allegedly, and then instead of going to crime jail, he confessed to being a woman in a man's body, and then they just faded up off of him. You know what I'm saying? And it's so funny because I told my wife prior to that year, I said, watch, he gonna end up being a bad bitch in the family. And we was just jokingly laughing. And when that shit came out, my lady said, you must be a motherfucking oracle, because how the fuck you guessed that? Well, I didn't. I'm just cracking a damn joke, really. But it's just so happened that shit came to fruition. I said, hell the fuck no, this nigga is doing this in real life. And I was just cracking a damn joke. Because I was like, he the daddy at all them supposedly pretty bitches. So I said, he gonna end up trying to be a bad bitch next. And it was just funny. But that nigga literally did do that. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I say Diddy ass need to be called, added to the damn letter. Instead of him going to prison for his way he like to get down, they should be calling it LGBT Diddy, and we move the hell on. And instead of him having to go down, treat him like the rest of the Americans. They don't care nothing about no black folks. They don't play that game. That's facts. That's why they just looked at it and was like, yeah, it's different, and I have heard of that, but you know what? You're nefarious, and you need to go down for it. And one day you'll learn that that's not the proper way to be. It's like they wanted his children to hear that. Now, a lot of people your children would never know what you did like that in the bedroom. They would never find out nothing like that about you. So that's why I say the damage wasn't necessarily for him to go to jail. It was to damage his legacy so his kids can't carry the business forward. So 25 years from now, when his kids be saying, yeah, I'm the CEO of Bad Boy, my daddy passed it to me, people like, Bad Boy? Oh, hell no. Get out of here. No, don't y'all remember in 2025 when they were saying he was doing all that? That's the same Bad Boy. You be like, wait, that's one of his sons? Yeah. Oh no, get out of here. He can't pass it. The name ain't gonna have no respectability. You know what I'm saying? So it was that was the ultimate regard for that. And so at the end of the day, the applause that he got in the jail was the fact that even though they beat him up like that and put that kind of information out there about him and just really threw him away, they didn't add him to the LGBT colors. Now you at least didn't go sit in jail where you stuck forever, and that be your ultimate results of your life. Like for instance, R. Kelly, even if he get out of jail, he will still hold the title of a person that attacked children. He's gonna always hold that title. He's gonna actually probably die like that, where a person that got that kind of credential, even though he sang them songs, Even though he lived to the highest level, he been rich since the 90s. He's still gonna die probably somebody that got that credential behind him. That can't be reversed now. They kind of gonna get on TV and say, hey, we was lying about his case. Everything we said about him, we found out it wasn't true. Could you imagine that? So we just want y'all to accept R. Kelly back into the nation, and he's one of us now. He gonna be walking us down the street, going to Walmart and say, you freaky ass nigga. Hey, y'all didn't see the TV show, bro? Come on, what y'all doing? Nah, man, fuck what they said, nigga. If you ever be around my door, I'm gonna kill your ass. He like, huh? You will never be able to go back to normal. Because the media, for Diddy to be accused of something like that from his girlfriends, and then the other girl come in and back it up, the Jane Doe chick, which we think that we know who she is, now it looked like it's confirmed. Like, okay, well, it's official. This is what he do. So they should have just added him to the letter and just said, yo, we accept the fact that you do alternative lifestyle, and we're not going to judge you. I said, hell no. Your motherfucker that. Yep. James, you know what's up. He said R. Kelly and Diddy had money. They're going to put that money back in circulation, y'all. Imagine this. Two people that spent 30 years doing their job. Now, if you and me had a job for 30 years, what would they call that? They would call that seniority. They would call that close to fucking retirement. If me and you had a job for 30 damn years, they would not call it a crime. They would not call that shit a sexual fetish. They wouldn't call that shit a deviant behavior. They would call that shit seniority. And how you would know you would be seniority? Because anytime they hire somebody new, they'll be like, hey, Mr. Thompson gonna train you. And your ass be standing over there in the corner. How you doing, young blood? I'm Mr. Thompson. I've been here 27 years. You're gonna be looked at it with a level of respect and regard, high regard. So for these guys to have the same thing, 30 years in the game, did they thing, stood tall in their 20s, in their 30s, and now they hit middle age 40, 50, now they hit middle age 50, close to 60, and everything they did in their young years come to this light. Hey, yeah, remember that day you took old girl to the thing, you hit it? Yeah, you did something wrong, you go to jail. Oh, you forgot. You had took and flew old girl, remember that? You bought her this, but then you didn't buy the other thing. Yep, you go to jail for that. Now imagine if they doing this at your job, the job you work at. They cover that motherfucker and be like, Mr. Thompson, come up to the front. Yeah, you 27 years you've been here. Remember them pens you took home 10 years after you started? You going your ass to jail for that. Oh, remember that day you took off work? But before you left, you said, fuck it, I'm going to go ahead and take this off this chair because I have my chair in my crib. Yeah, motherfucker, we caught that on video. You be like, I'm not going to retire. No, your ass ain't retired, motherfucker. Did you bring the shit back from the chair? Where them fucking pens at? You been stealing pens out this bitch for 14 years. What the fuck you doing? Drawing at the fucking house? No, my kids was in school. What the fuck you mean? No, it's the exact same fucking thing. My kids was in school, motherfucker. I ain't still no damn shoot. This is what could happen to you. But the fact that they celebrities and black, they could turn that shit into a fucking tumultuous lifestyle. The victims of the singer. These bitches was fucking fans, wasn't they? They made it seem like this nigga showed up to the motherfucking place and shit and started passing out baby oil, and whoever the fuck showed up at the club was his new girlfriend. No, these people wanted to be around him. They chose that kind of world. Maybe you won't. Maybe I won't. But they fucking did. They live in their grown-ass life. They can do what the fuck they want to do. But they supposed to go to prison. So be careful at your damn job. When it start getting past 25, you better go clean up shit. Go back around that motherfucker, take all that shit back up to that job, and going back in that motherfucker and sit back normal as hell, because they probably got some video on your ass. They're going to pop out and be like, yeah, you thought you was going to retire. But as far as we concerned, you took $1,428 in pens out this bitch. So how you going to pay that? Can y'all take it out my check? No. You and this bitch like, well, what the fuck I'm supposed to do? So this is the reality. Monica said hyperbole, and Eric Cornette said this is why when they get all this money and forget they black. That's a fact. Yeah, that's a fact, because you know Diddy did. Come on. You know, and I'm not saying he felt like he was a white guy, but he felt like he was white in that realm of money and where it could take you to and the level that he made it to. He felt like, come on, if you got fuck that. I'm gonna just talk about me. If I had a fucking plane, I wouldn't give a shit what nobody said. I'd say I'd celebrate Martin Luther King Jr. birthday, but I'd be the whitest black nigga you ever seen in your life. If I had a fucking plane and a fucking white ass flyer of my damn plane and I'm sitting in the back drinking with bad bitches walking around, anything I want, I'm gonna think I'm white as a bitch. I'm sorry. And I can pay for the gas. It ain't gonna break me. I ain't paying for the gas this one time, then I gotta wait next year. I can do it again if I want to. I can't fly there one time and then I gotta ride commercial on the way back. Like I'm talking about this my shit. I'm gonna feel white as hell. Like you give me 3 scoops of caviar, goddamn it, I'm gonna fuck around and move to the farm some fucking well. You understand what I'm saying? So it's gonna be different in how they put that out there. You know what I'm saying? Monica said a girl put an ad on Craigslist for someone to kill her. When a man came, he he and did it. He didn't go. He wait. I'm sorry. When the man came and did it, he went to prison just because they asked for it. Or was it different to make it right? Or does it make, I'm fucking up on my reading y'all for it, or was it with it doesn't make it right? Yeah, I mean, that's true. You know, we capturing that understanding. Obviously, dude crossed the line. I think that, 17 years older than somebody, you got a lot more responsibility than you really want to take account for. Somebody 17 years younger than you mental. You mental, man. And I ain't talking about that person. I'm talking about what James White just said right now. You mental, bro. I'm really losing all kind of understanding right now. You mental, bro. Yeah, so that's crazy though. But I guess, man, when you rich like that, you could pay your way in that's a bad analogy. Jenna Thompson said he might not need it. Monica said Cassie was the same age as Diddy, twin girls. Nah. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that now. I ain't letting you slide with that one, Monica. Them girls like 18. Come on. That girl like 38 right now. She like 20 years older than them. She like 20 years older than them. Do not do that one. But in the scheme of reality, I can understand the mentality. I can understand the analogy that her brain is going to be equivalent to his daughter's. That's what she's saying. Her aptitude, her way of collecting thoughts and making comprehension is going to be the same level as that. So it's going to be a little bit easier to manipulate her. It's going to be a little bit easier to play mad and shit and then have her respond. You know what I'm saying? All these things that you'll be able to play on a girl because she way younger. This is her first experience having somebody. And then at that level of richness, it's like, nah, I can't see that. But that's crazy. Cassie has 19 and Diddy was 38 when they got together. Yeah, so that's 19 years different. Oh shit, I thought it was 17, so it's 19. So this nigga next level. He diabolical, dude. But I mean, some dudes just like young women, and ain't nothing wrong with that. It's his choice. She went for it. She dove. I heard she was dating that guy Ryan Davis, and then he the one who took them to meet each other at some meeting, and she was able to meet Diddy, and then the rest is history. She got with him, and I bet you she probably wish she would have stayed with little corny ass Ryan Davis and just set her ass down, instead of jumping in the car with that nigga. Steve O'Sona said 2 adults. That's facts. She grown as hell. She making grown up ass woman decisions, and they might not be the best, but you have a choice. You know what I'm saying? But the fact that the jury found dude not guilty, man, on the real heinous parts of the crimes, that was telling right there, man. That was real telling right there. They said they didn't believe Cassie or that girl. It's crazy. I'm like, damn. They came to court trying to get him locked up, and the people said they didn't believe it. It's crazy. And Cedric said when Diddy get out, he gonna have to move out the United States. I doubt it. I doubt that. I told you, bro, hip-hop ain't mainstream like that. Hip-hop music is mainstream, but hip-hop ain't mainstream. Hip-hop don't give a fuck about what white people think at all. It's no concern. So if they don't like you, who gives a shit? It's the people in hip-hop that's gonna have to fuck with Diddy, and I think people in hip-hop gonna fuck with Diddy, 100%. Steve O'Sona said it's called home training. Parents should have raised her better. Facts. Yeah. That's facts too. Because she just didn't have enough understanding, and she jumped out the window and got herself around somebody who was wicked. I've been having a coffee headache and shit all fucking day today, so I gotta go make another one and shit. Y'all gotta rock with me too. So that was his problem, cause he should have cared. And then see, I think it's about caring for people, man. Cause you think about it, Diddy been like called out for doing a lot of bogus ass shit to artists in the music industry. And the shit that they claimed he did, he don't really deny it. You know what I'm saying? You know, you even got Gene Dillon them saying all this salacious shit about him. He don't be out there trying to keep his name clean. He just let that shit go. He don't care. And to me, that's dumb because you got these people making these statements about you, and then now all these other people making decisions on the statements they made about you. And that to me is crazy. It's like, damn, nigga, don't let these people talk this shit about you. Keep your name solid, man. But he couldn't do that. He just let that shit be. He didn't lock in. I would have wanted to have locked in and said, no, ain't nobody gonna throw my name under the bus like that. I'm fighting. Fuck that. But he tried, and it just didn't work. Just didn't work. So now he got to sit his ass down. But they're gonna probably try to give him a lot of time because, again, you got a bird in the hand is better than two in the bush. So if they got you already locked up and you already in custody, why would they let you out in a short term? They might as well make a big ass ordeal and a spectacle out of you, or if they call it, make an example out of you. And allow you to really be the person or the beacon or the poster boy for jurisprudence of them actually putting a real crime on you. And now you got to really face the music on that crime. So he made the mistakes, and now he got to face it. And that's all of us to see in our own future. Like I wouldn't want nobody deciding my future. You see how those girls came and lined up about deciding his future. It's like, damn, y'all was over here chilling with me and shit. We played pool. We was up here drinking. We was up here eating and shit. Like, what the fuck happened? And then that motherfucker making them decisions. You know what I'm saying? But that's what it is. It's always us, damn Diddy. Yeah, but I ain't gonna say that, man. I just think that they don't prosecute the other people like that. Hit the like button too, y'all. Come on, we getting them numbers up there. We supposed to have 100 by now. I done gave y'all over 100 minutes of this spitology. But he basically jugged himself out of position. You know what I'm saying? And they waited to his ending date. It ain't like they came at him in his 20s and 30s. Like a lot of the youngsters today, they coming at them in their 20s and 30s. Like Dirk is in his 30s. And he got the same scenario as Diddy. He's sitting his ass in jail, and there's so many other young rappers from the day that's sitting in jail. It's not no conversation about what they gonna do. You gonna be in there, and they sitting them down to court dates. Like they actually sitting them down. Thanks for that like. They sitting them down for court dates. You know what I'm saying? Like you get in there and you ain't getting up out of that mom. You know what I'm saying? Monica said the woman who was shot in the face that Diddy shot her, and Shine said he took the fall. Yeah, I heard of that too, but that's Shine's fault. So, who are you to come out today after you did your damn crime and try to throw the guy under the bus when you supposed to have stood tall? Then we're not gonna listen to you. You know what I'm saying? You supposed to be a standing tall individual. So now all of a sudden we're supposed to hear the opposite side, and that 10 years is a long time to keep your quiet. You know what I'm saying? That's a lot. And then think about it. What's the benefit of telling us that Diddy did this to you today when you could have told the prosecution and got your ass less time in jail? So that means to tell me that your allegiance is to perception instead of your allegiance being to your freedom. Your allegiance is to what people think about you and how much you wish you was free because you don't want to be no snitch. But now you free, you snitching. Nigga, there's no benefit for fucking snitching today. What the fuck do you want to fucking tell everybody here's what really happened? Well, you had 10 years to think of a nice motherfucking story scenario that you could conjure up, and it could seem so factual. Come on, man, get out of here. And then when he first came home, he went straight up there to Diddy. He got pictures with Diddy, hanging out with Diddy, and I guess, just like anybody in the world, you come calling a nigga number. Hey, what's up? I just called. He ain't answer the phone. I was just trying to see. He ain't answer the phone. Hey, remember you said you was going to hit me up? You can't catch him. That's all that happens. People are phony, man. You have to understand that. Shine is what you call a phony ass nigga. You can't. Who the hell cares if Diddy did that to you if you sat your ass in jail for 10 years? That's dumb. You're dumb for sitting in jail that long and then confessing, and especially to the wrong fucking people. You confessing to the audience members like we gonna come together against Diddy. Even if we did, what the fuck is it gonna matter? You still did 10 years of your life. So all that revelations shit today, that's like, just make it, to me, it's like, just, to me, it's like, just make a Tubi movie and tell that story. Make a Tubi movie. In a Tubi movie, you the star. In a Tubi movie, you did it. In a Tubi movie, Diddy is the fucking person and you was the person standing on the side. What's wrong with that? But you just gonna jump on the camera and say, yeah, guess what that nigga did? You need more people. I don't believe you. You need more people. So that right there is to let you know that I just don't agree with Sean D. Even if he was telling the truth, I don't believe what he did. Somebody said, Monica said, then Sean said that they didn't even give him that much money for doing it. So that means you a double dummy. Somebody put double dummy in the comment section. So you a double dummy. Is that what's going on right now? Okay, so we gotta accept that from you. You'd rather go sit in jail, leave your mama, your kids, your girlfriend, just so you don't get committed to be a snitch. Some dumbass out here. James White, I'm snitching if you try to set me up. What? Man, first of all, you wouldn't even need no time for snitching. Because if they with you, this is how I look at it. If they with you and they got guns and they ain't gangsters, you shouldn't even be in that scenario. Double dummy, you already know what's up with Cedric. If they with you and they got pistols, you already know you're not supposed to be in that scenario. You're supposed to be like, oh, y'all finna ride down? Y'all got poppers in here? Oh, straight up. Hey, let me run up in this gas station real quick and get the fuck away from them. Y'all dumbass out of here. Y'all niggas ain't even gangsters. And so if he took the gun and shot it, or if he stood next to Diddy and let him shoot it, what was you gaining? What was your gain? And again, you heard what Cassie said. She was with him. She did everything he said do. She did all this stuff, and he did nothing for her music. Hey, the Cedric said, you gonna cry while you snitching. You already know what your play is, boy. You gonna watch, I'm gonna watch about 3 white girls crying in movies. I'm coming at that motherfucker. I already know how I'm gonna do it. I'm just gonna come in that bitch swinging like, man, it's a bullshit, it's a bullshit, it's a bullshit. They gonna be like, what the fuck? Calm down, sir. What happened? I'm like, man, you know what? Look. But I ain't even be in no situation like that. J-Lo had the gun in her purse, see, and he sat down. What kind of friends is these? See, that's another thing to tell you, man. All these people not smart because they could sing or make music or do these things, man. That does not make them also smart. That just make them talented. That just make them good at something. But that don't make them smart. And a lot of times that's what you're dealing with. You're dealing with the people that's not that bright. It's NTB. They not that bright. And it's okay though, you know, because they just be talent. But it's almost like if you got a musician buddy and he only getting 13% of his money, then that shouldn't be your friend. That shouldn't be your musician buddy. You know what I'm saying? You should be looking at him and be like, I don't think you only getting 13%. What the fuck you mean? Well, no, that's the deal. See, because they talking about I'm finna get like, I'll holler at you later, bro. Because they ain't the smartest one in the room. Add a little ice to my coffee. NTB, you already know I was gonna ask that. Joe, you already know I was gonna ask that one. You already know that one was coming. I was about to say put NTB, not too bright. That's just what it is. And it ain't that they don't want to be that. It's just they natural state of being, and they could do something that's really clever and amazing. Like R. Kelly, he could sing, but then he even was revealing that he was illiterate. Whether that's true or not, that was a revelation that came out. The fact of the matter is that how could you be illiterate? But we ain't his parents, we ain't his teachers. This is what he claiming. So it's like they be rich as fuck, but be dumb as fuck. And you could look at Michael Jackson alone and know that he didn't go to school that many days. You know what I'm saying? As soon as he got $5, he was like, "Take me to the doctor." What's wrong? I want my face changed. Like this is shit you learn as a little kid. Like they put you in a little classroom and be like, "I'm beautiful," with a little mirror. "I'm beautiful. I'm somebody." You're a child. Like what the fuck? Like you already know this in your brain. Like why I gotta do this dumbass? I'm beautiful. I'm somebody. You're a little kid. Like what the fuck this all about? But this motherfucker and shit wanted to change his whole fucking life. She said Don King admitted that he stole money from the his boxes, that he had more money than they had. Yeah, because and that's a fact right there. I do remember something like that. Yeah, and then not even so much as that, they do it even more in the open when they do it to the NBA players and the NFL players, where they get them to take a check or take a fee, and this is what they get once a year. But then the white boys get to get money off the T-shirts, the video games. They get to get money off the popcorn, the beer, the ticket sales. They get to get money off the travel, the motherfucking commercials. They get to get money off the network TV shows when they play. They get money off reruns. And you sitting back like, I get a big ass check. No, they got a big ass check. So this is what you're not looking at. They just happy to be in the game and happy to be doing what they love, but they can't see what them other people getting. You looking out, man, they give me 40 million. I got 200 million, but they probably made 200 billion in 2 years. You know what I'm saying? And they ain't gotta never think about working. And the company keep going. It ain't like there's a one and done and it's over. It's like every single year this thing operate and at a high level. And everybody can't wait to do it. Like people signing up and lining up to try to do it themselves. Man, I wish they hired me, man. Why don't they draft me? So these are operations that Diddy and them could have been starting. And again, that's why they get their money to the dummies. They get their money to the dummies. So instead of him taking his money and opening up his own NFL thing, him and Jay-Z, and say, we're going to start our own. What's up, Wilkes? We're going to start our own. Instead of NFL, what do we call it? Hip Hop FL. You feel me? We're going to call it Hip Hop FL, and we're going to be doing our own sports thing, and da-da-da-da, and da-da-da-da. And everybody would have been like, Hip Hop FL? I'm watching that shit. Hip Hop BA? I'm watching that shit. And now we had our own leagues and hip hop ran by black dudes. But since they give all the money to the dummies, these guys just really just want to be buying stuff that white people sell. That's the opulence mindset. Like, oh, wait a minute. I got a boot with a jacket. Hey, they got boot jackets over here, nigga. I'm going over there. Drive me over there. What? Hey, give me 12 boot jackets. And everybody be like, what the fuck is a boot jacket? Yeah, y'all ain't got one of these. You ain't never seen no damn boot jacket before. I'm the first one with a motherfucking boot jacket. Like, okay, what the fuck that mean? I mean, to me, you saw the Egyptians. The Egyptians had big motherfucking pyramids. Everybody died, had diamond and gold. They was buried in that shit. And all that shit stayed above the ground. Even their physical bodies. That was mummified. None of it went into the next place. So they say, they said, Monica said they own the rights to your image. They showed Dula Say, you say, if it's funny how they backed off Diddy when he was about to tell on all them celebrities. Yup, I peeped that game too. But he wasn't gonna do that because after we just seen all this play out, you know, Diddy didn't have nothing on nobody. He wasn't doing that. All that shit was made up. He wasn't doing no damn sex-free parties with no fucking celebrities. No, hell no. That shit would have came out. He wasn't doing this a lot. I just spilled some of my shit. It was a lot, and that's really what we had all gathered from that whole scenario. That they was basically just lying. That he was doing freak offs with his girlfriend. Say it's funny how they backed up. Yup, he was just doing freak offs with his girlfriend. That shit that they was trying to claim was fucking lies, but it still smoked his business. He'll never be the mogul he was. He'll never have that credential. And like I said, moreover, it's really about them shutting down his company. Stopping him from passing that business to his sons. Because by doing that, now his sons can keep that shit and keep it going. The feds have all the tapes, and now he will never know. We will never know. No, technically we will know because they'll fuck around, and you know a lot of these people be getting that shit where they get to get that stuff. They know how to, you know, people be working in the rooms or working in those areas, and they'll take that shit and sell it. They'll take that shit and sell it to the media for money. You know, if they find out about it. You know what I'm saying? So that could possibly happen. You know what I'm saying? But again, nobody would ever know. And I wouldn't even want to know. Like, who the fuck cares if somebody was doing something like that? They make it seem like that shit should be something that we care about. What somebody does in their bedroom. What somebody doing with their person that they affectionate with. Like, who the fuck cares? They need all of us to care for it to have some kind of legs, for it to have some kind of interest. Because if we cared not about what somebody did in their bedroom, they couldn't castigate him to that level, or they couldn't castigate nobody to that level. But we all had to care about that. Yeah, humanity, she said. Yeah, and Monica said, settle on the web, the dark web. Yeah, the people would get their hands on it and push it. But at the end of the day, it won't have the same luster. See, when R. Kelly video came out, 2002, yeah, snuff film, yeah. In 2002, when R. Kelly video came out, 2001, it was kind of new to the internet. The internet probably was around 6 years. Now it's 20-something years. So all this stuff that go on the internet comes straight to your cell phone. So you seeing so much now today. You seeing all this other stuff that's like really crazy and wow, and Twitter got everybody to go out there and do anything they want to do. You seeing all these things. So now if those kind of tapes come out, they're not really doing nothing to shock you. They're not doing nothing to make you be like, whoa, oh my God. It's just, oh dang, for real? Dude, they crazy. They do what? And then you moving on. So it's not the same one. You know what I'm saying? Saying the way Diddy's sons outside the courthouse doing push-ups. Right. They just trying to do anything to keep their name. But you got to think, they don't know nothing else to do, bro. Their father is a fucking super celebrity. Their father is Diddy. They don't know shit else to do. Well, they only know how to be celebrities. They only do. You got to think, if your parent taught you how to cook, you probably will get a job at some point, but your ass gonna be cooking because that's the fuck you know. You know what I'm saying? You know, you probably can do other things, but what you know is what the fuck you gonna do. You know what I'm saying? And it's, yep, it said, so that's that. And Miss Down South said, I love R. Kelly music, but keep his pissy. But yeah, these guys put real crazy names on it. So Joanne said, I guess rich people make porn movies to enjoy life. Yeah. If you enjoy life, poor folks rent the movie. No, as we see with P. Diddy, they rent humans. Rich people rent actual humans that breathe. And they be like, we need you over here. And the person be like, okay. Because they was only hitting them at like $1,200. In my not ever doing nothing like that brain, I'm thinking they getting millions and shit. Like, oh, I'm over here freaking Diddy and his girl. I'm going to get him $100,000. It's like a $1,200. Y'all was lowballing the hell out of people. Now, come on. You getting a whole genital in your face. You sitting up here giving somebody $1,200 fucking dollars. And y'all millionaires? It's like, damn, so I gotta do 10 times to get $12,000? They lowballed that. That's what they should have been in jail for treating them daggone prostitutes like prostitutes. What the fuck is wrong with y'all? Get them goddamn people some money. You can I buy a car after giving you my damn genital? But I guess they was in there like, now hold on now. Now the going price for some booty is probably about, I'd probably give you 800. But since I like you, I'm gonna give you some more. It's like, man, come on, man. Y'all literally got Rams and fucking mansions and limos. Can I at least take my lady out 4 times? Like, what the fuck? They was paying them some low money, and I ain't like that. Monica, they said a lot of the people in porn are being forced to trap. Yeah, well, the world is ugly, man. For us to sit here and think that the world is beautiful and that people ain't doing nefarious activity or hurting people, come on, let's be real. Come on, let's be real. There's people out here doing some real nasty level shit. And it's the world. And the only thing that made this happen or come to fruition is that this guy's a celebrity. And he's a high-end celebrity, like one of the biggest in the game. He's been in the game and a household name for 30 years, before it was even a fucking Snoop Dogg. Imagine that. Snoop Dogg been around forever. But before he was in with him, it was a damn Diddy. It was a Puffy. And so we knew who this guy was as these other people came into the game. We knew his level of success. So that's why it's crazy to find out anything personal about them people, because they stay so private. They never really came out and said much about their life. You know what I'm saying? But when they come out like this, it's going to be hard to live it down. It's going to be hard for people to accept you in another way. People just going to look at you like the people said on TV, like you're a freak, like you got problems. And, you know, see, Diddy got the money to get himself fixed and help. And when them people want them interviews, that's all he got to do is say, hey, I got help. went and I saw a doctor. I spoke to people. You know what I'm saying? That's all he got to say. I went and I got help for my issues. I had spoke to some people about what I was dealing with. That's all he really got to say. You know what I'm saying? Hold on, let me cut this fan on. Yeah, he got the money to go and get himself some doctors. They'll be sitting down with him like, Mr. Combs, Mr. Combs, can you tell me why you've been out to the seaman? I mean, you know what I'm trying to say. He'd be like, shit. Hey man, I don't like how you put that question, man. It's embarrassing. So it's crazy. Steve O'Sona. Now Monica said, have you seen Diddy dressed up like a Joker? It's next level. I've probably seen it, not recently though. Steve O'Sona, you only give a hoe enough to keep coming back. Facts. That's the word right there. But it's also factual too that if you put yourself in predicaments like that, people who you think is your friend could come against you and put himself under scrutiny he can never imagine. Monica said, Diddy told the women that Diddy told that woman that he is the devil and could kill her. When people tell you that, who they are, believe them. That's true too. You know what I'm saying? So Diddy he faced the music. You know, if he was any foulness he put out there, that shit came back. That shit came. He didn't slide. He didn't slide though. Now you got a judge Submarinium is going to make a decision on his life come October 2nd, which is a little under 30 days, 90 days. So is that judge going to give him the green light to go home? Is that judge going to say it's enough? Is that judge going to say, okay, we understand, you know what I mean? You made mistakes when you were younger, you get to go back to your life. Or is that judge going to be like, hey man, the statute claims that this is your minimum sentence. I announce this is your sentence and it's like jail time. That's going to be something. Yup. Nathan, you out here wilding. Yup. 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 He waiting. Yup. Y'all be waiting on the packs to come in. You ain't never lied. You got to see what's happening. Like, hey, shit, what the fuck, man? It'll be hard. I'd be pacing in jail every day. Motherfuckers getting on my nerves and shit, asking me for shit. Quit asking me for shit. I gave as much money as I'm giving this month. Nigga, I ain't put up another motherfucking dollar. Man, don't ask me no more motherfucker. When the fuck y'all gonna do something for me? Man, I've been in this bitch 3-4 months. Ain't nobody did shit for me. He and that motherfucker snapping. Motherfucker like, man, leave him alone, bro. You know you going through shit, man. That motherfucking court case like 2 months. That nigga can't take that shit. You know what I'm saying? And that motherfucker going crazy. Motherfucker like, he better watch his motherfucking mouth, nigga. They got me in this bitch 3 years waiting on my motherfucking court case. I ain't taking no whole shit from Diddy, man. You heard what that motherfucker do? Man, don't fuck the money up, bro. Leave that nigga alone. Like these conversations going behind his back and shit, he just gotta be like in his cell freaking out like, damn, what they gonna do, what they gonna do, what they gonna do? I don't know, man. I ain't even really guilty for all this shit, man. They up here wilding on me. I ain't even guilty like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, he just, man, you know, like I said, man, I can't even imagine what the fuck somebody like that can do. You know what I'm saying? Deborah Williams said game over on his ass. Yeah. Yeah, it could be that. It could be that. That's what makes it so crazy. Like, it could literally be the end of this nigga's world. And it'd be like, even they hit him, imagine this, you're 55 years old. If they hit you with a 10-piece, which is just 5-piece for both of them, then you 65 years old. If they hit him with 5 years, just 5, you're 60 getting out of jail. If they hit him with 2 or 3 years, 57, 58, you and this motherfucker coming out, you like, where everybody at? Motherfuckers got older, motherfuckers probably got married, motherfuckers then probably ran through your money like, daddy gone, kicking it. You pop out like, hey, we need to have a family meeting. Motherfucker like, I'm out of town, man. Hey, Dad, y'all fly out here where I'm at. You like, what the fuck you mean? Boy, I can't leave right now. I got some shit going on. You like, I've been sitting down, boy. You better bring your ass up in this motherfucker and come see me. So it's the reality of his life changing to the fact that everybody's life moves on and your ass been sitting still. Sitting still, telling motherfuckers, if Cassie call that phone, don't answer. Nobody talk to her. Like, I think we know that, motherfucker. Like, but okay, thanks for telling us and shit. You know, because it's like this is in reality. So, but you know, they said sometimes when you're in jail like that, it's good to have a big family because you can have people rotating around, coming to see you in visits, and then those visits turn into time passing. So now you get a 6-hour visit or 3-hour visit. You got your lawyers get to probably see you for 9 hours a day or some shit like that. You got 7 lawyers, they rotating, coming to see you. You barely sitting in a motherfucking jail cell. You like, oh, another meeting? Good. Oh, my kids here? Bet. Oh, my mama here? Okay, cool. You barely sitting in that motherfucker. So now when they finally hit you with your conviction and now you got to sit still, now motherfuckers got to go back to their life. Hey, Diddy, I can't come see you right now, man. The trial over. I got to run back out of town over here. Like, damn. We need that visit about you, boy. Hey, can one of your cousins come down here and visit me, man? I don't care who you saying, man. Just tell me his name. I'm going to put it on my paperwork. You sitting that motherfucker like, I need visits, nigga. Deborah Wynn said his sons will help him. I think he got a solid family. I think he got a solid family. And none of those boys have jumped out as trying to be the next him. Well, maybe the Justin kid or whatever the kid name is that's always King. I think of King Kong's. He always dancing and try to take on his daddy persona. But, you know, I think he took a back seat for a minute because they tried to diss him and put the dad in jail off of his raps or whatever. And who wants to see their father go down and try to make it like it's connected to you? Like, you just rapping and shit and having fun. You ain't trying to fucking tear the family down and shit because you like rap music. But that's the jurisprudence that they found themselves under. Like, they listen to everything you do. They hear you. They paying attention. And you got to be careful how you moving. You know what I'm saying? So, and Diddy can't tell you. He can't call you home like, all right, everybody, put me on speaker. Nobody post nothing. Nobody beat and do it. Don't go in my back room either with that lock on it. I want that kid out. I want that lock to still be on that damn door. Like, he don't get to give a sermon to the family. You know what I'm saying? He just got to sit back and let things play out. And they listening to every word you say on them jail cells. Every phone. Everything you say. Matter of fact, that's one of the reasons they didn't let him out of jail. His motherfucking prosecution saying, well, he uses the phone of the other inmates to try to threaten or coerce the witnesses against him. And it's like, the judge and them was like, but I think everybody do that. It's not right, but this is like what the fuck people do in jail. So I'm not going to necessarily hold that against them, even though it's not right. But people do that. They get on other people's phone numbers and use their card numbers and shit to put phone calls out there to folks. And this is a part of it. But the judge still was saying, nope, it's still a part of motherfucking intimidation, so you got to sit your ass in here. He ain't finna intimidate nobody. Did he intimidate them damn bras all the 6 years that he wasn't even dating Cassie? No, she was able to go back to living whatever life she chose. But they said, you doing that shit, you got these people scared and threatened or feel like they should be threatened, and we're not finna go for that. You know what I'm saying? So ultimately, people applauding for you when you beat the feds. It looks like that Diddy has done something which we like to call in our culture Black history. So that's Black history right there. A mogul, a black mogul goes into the courtroom with a RICO charge and he walks out that boy with a not guilty. And it was by the jury. It wasn't by the judge. It was by the jury. So we can't say, oh, he paid the judge. Now you know he didn't pay no damn 12 jurors. So they all agreed upon the fact that he was not doing nothing to the fact that he needed to go to jail. And so the only people who was found culpable necessarily was the females because they was a part of it. And now we understood it wholeheartedly. Hit the like button too, friends. We see that ultimately those girls was rocking with the process versus him convincing them, punching them, choking them, holding them against their will, that they were coming around because they cared for him, or they, and even the chicks evenly said that they still loved him. So it's like, that's crazy to still love you. Like my man said earlier, the Stockholm Syndrome, King T, that's what the women have, or had, you know what I'm saying? But the fact that he had time away from them girls, that's another telling point that they all had times to move on in their life, because Diddy ultimately did. He had a new girlfriend, and he was rocking with her, whoever she was. I think somebody was saying her name. I can't remember, Jack. What? Oh, goddamn. There was a girl. I know her name, but I can't think of it. And so he had moved on with his life, and so now he wasn't threatening them, trying to kill him. He wasn't threatening them, trying to make it be a problem for their life. So it was like, hey, we don't date, but you see where it turned. You know what I'm saying? You see where it turned. So ultimately, Diddy gonna be home in a few years, and it's not gonna be a prison sentence where he's away from his family long term. He probably do 2 to 5 years at the most. He's a first offense offender, so he's not like really a threat. You know, he's a mogul, so he got way more to lose if he's still trying to have some kind of vendetta towards them females. And he just got way more fish to fry than to be standing around caring about what that was. You know, it's like a pastime moment. It happened. It's over. Now you get on with your fucking life. So I'm gonna get off this old live right here. I want y'all to definitely, Young Miami, that's her name. You know a stoner. Hit the like button for me, and then definitely look at one of these videos I'm gonna have up here or down there from City Girls. Okay, yeah, I knew it because I heard she had got on there and said she like men to pee on her, and then next thing you know, she was dating Diddy. And that was really telling right there, because it was like, I heard that girl say that because they played that shit on the radio. And then she did it, and then next thing you know, she dating Diddy. So it was always this little swirling question like, he really like him freaky. But now we can all see how freaky, you know what I'm saying, because of what they claimed he was doing. It's like now it's no question. He's up to something. You know, and I thought that's what the jury was going to ultimately say. Like, you know what, he's guilty because while we don't really understand the charges that they got him on, he got to be up to something because why else would these people be in his room claiming all this shit against him? And that's a lot of times why the prosecution put a lot of people up against you and a lot of witnesses because they want to put that notion in the world that, yeah, well, maybe we can't figure out exactly what it was with these charges, but the fact that all these people came in here and witnessed against this person, that ought to tell you something happened. So y'all figure out which one of these motherfuckers y'all gonna convict them for, but make sure you get something because something did happen. We couldn't probably figure it out. None of us was there. And that's why they charge you with all of the charges. And that's why they put the jury in there to decide for you, because they just might sit there and say, you know what? I don't give a damn what the fuck they said about this shit. I'm gonna go ahead and put guilty because I don't know what the fuck he did, but I do know he did something. So what's up, Sharice? So that's really what that problem is for him. But he still got past that because they only convicted him of what the shit was in the statute and what the crimes was. So, and they only chose two. You know what I'm saying? So that's good enough for him to come his ass home and put all this shit in his past. You know what I'm saying? So that's that. Peace out. Love y'all. Hit you up in a minute. And thank you for liking and subscribing. Thank you for watching. Share this video. I'm grateful for y'all's support. Hit y'all up soon.